I know this music's gonna be definitely contrasting. Green box, green box.
Green box.
We are green.
We ready to roll? Wait, what? Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Tweet.
Alright.
Do here. Trying to figure out where all I want to broadcast this. Oh, manage my live dashboard. Oh, I can manage that shit from my phone. Nice. God, that my chair comes in over the microphone.
Oh.
It's squeaky as fuck.
Oh boy.
Yep. Give people a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that's
basically, I think I even told you that.
That's common sense sort of thing, though.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one person. That's... Chat will be showing up both here, and I'm going to hide my Twitter feed. Both here and on OBS to the side here. Hello, Sophia. Thank you for showing up. I got 2 people so far. Probably going to officially kick this off at maybe 5:30. Hopefully everything sounds good. A little bit further from the mic today. Definitely... Saying 12 minutes, yup. Trying to reach that affiliate milestone as safely as possible without destroying myself every day. Good God, imagine me streaming after work. Ugh!
Yeah.
Coming off of work going, hey guys, this is... fuck everything.
Yeah.
Shoot me.
Just go in full Mike Still Closet mode.
Yeah. Definitely I'm gonna do this though. Let that giant wall attacks.
An operating.
Greg, Sophia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. By the way, it's gonna look a little more correct on stream compared to us because I can't bump this to 4:3.
Yeah. Published by Square Electronic Arts LLC.
Yes, yeah, I pulled this up already to test it earlier.
So you already know a little bit of what's going on with like the intro and stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to turn
a little bit.
We're otherwise gonna have to speak a little bit louder, or I'm gonna have to turn the game down.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, Xenogears,
Well, we're not quite going yet.
not
so.
yet, but still.
Shoot.
Oh, yeah, no, I was gonna set it down. I'll just hold on.
Set it away from the desk. It's gonna be heard from the desk.
Yeah, good point.
I don't have a vibration arm yet.
Right. It's fucking. By the way, push a button just in case, because there's going to be a movie that'll play, and just like if we duck into a menu, it won't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's gonna be, and yeah, get them sound effects in.
Right.
This game's got sound effects.
Oh God, does it?
Sound isn't real. Oh shit! It does it anyway. Uh-oh. I am... Nope.
Yeah, just... Home button! Wait until the 5:30 mark to kick this off. Let me know if anything is not quite right in chat here. Because... Yeah, it's... It's definitely gonna be a bit of a roll here. Oh shit, that shows up. Okay. Probably should have picked something a little more enjoyable for a home screen music. I know, right? They're sitting there in the Discord going, yeah, they're playing a game, and they're not here. I was gonna talk a little bit of small shit about them now, I guess. They won't see it. Just went up 3 viewers. I wonder if that's them popping in. No.
Yep.
I wonder if that's from another Discord I linked it in, or Twitter. Be impressed if somebody actually... Alright, well, we're probably just gonna kick this off at the 25 mark.
Probably. We'll wait and see.
Yep. Alright, look. So we're just gonna...
Woo!
Take a peek behind the curtain a second here. Literally pick anything else. Here we go. Depending on how the composer behaves, we're definitely going to get that potential mute strike there.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We good?
God, I can hear everything.
Can hear everything.
Yeah, there's a little bit of background noise. I'm gonna turn that gain down a little bit. Okay. Well, let's kick the show off.
All right. So
I think that's pretty much everybody.
right. So new game. All right, and don't hit anything because that will skip this.
Get that Bible quote in.
Yep.
Front load that shit.
Oh yeah, you've played Xenoblade, so you know
Yeah.
kind of what to. Well, you know what to expect, and yet you probably don't, because if this game is very different from Xenoblade 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Like, this was full-on passion project mode when Takahashi made this.
Also, the sound mixing on this is a little louder than literally everything else I played on stream last night.
Yeah, no, it's an older game. The audio mixing is going to be a little all over the place sometimes.
This is an emergency. Level 1 alert. Omega 1 restarting.
Oh, we even got animated cutscenes.
Yeah, we do. This was
Yo.
even something they advertised on the back of the box, because that was something you would
You were
actually make a
shouting.
selling point back then.
Speed is overwhelming. Alpha 1 to raise your central. Access confirmed. Initializing fake net. Disconnected.
In fact, I'm pretty sure these anime cutscenes are done by Production IG, the same guys who did some of the animation work for Evangelion.
Roger. Activating self-destruct bolts.
Yeah, Sophia, it's gonna be like this because it's the PSTV and it forces it into 720. So it's upscaling from 720 to 1080 again.
Omega 1,
That's
they are attacked.
weird.
Yeah, that's just PSP.
98%
That's just
of our weapons
PSP.
have been taken over. The autopilot system Faust has been accessed, and its phase space logic is being rewritten. Ergo area is increasing. An internal plane is forming. Switching to space displacement mode.
Alpha 1, confirming transfer of coordinate codes. Coordinates input, coordinate NX128, EZ061, the main planet.
Damn. So they're planning on attacking. Engine room. Activate the emergency sealing system. Engine room. Engine.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, don't worry about that. So yeah, in case you can't read the text, it says, "Ye shall be as gods."
Safely transported to the escape shuttles. I will send a dispatch after
Yeah, a lot's happening at once, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm evacuating the ship. All of you, evacuate now.
Evacuate the ship immediately. All passengers please board the shuttles in a calm and orderly fashion.
Yep. Yeah, they're just... Yeah, things ain't looking so hot, are they?
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely the self-destruct sequence.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you do when your giant crucifix-shaped spaceship just happens to get overtaken by some weird thing on board. But... Oh, hello, you weren't on there.
not crazy that this seems like a Sunrise production, right?
I just said it's Production IG.
I mean, Production IG is just a production studio. There's an actual Sunrise animation studio.
I don't think Sunrise was involved in this, as far as I understand.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh yeah, by the way, that whole opening cutscene, that's not going to get explained until like the latter half of the second disc.
I'm not surprised.
And here we have a massive text crawl. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the Mitsuda. There's the Mitsuda. Continent of Ignis in the northern hemisphere of our world. On this, the largest continent, a war has been raging between two countries for hundreds of years. In the north of the continent lies the Kislev Empire. In the south lies the desert kingdom of Av. The war has gone on for so long the people have forgotten the cause, knowing only the pointless circle of hostility and tragedy. Yeah, you have to actually manually advance through all this.
God damn, this is front-loading real hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. The Chronic War obsession was soon to encounter a devastating change. This was due to the Ethos, an institution that preserves our world's culture, repairing tools and weapons excavated from the ruins of an ancient civilization. At once, both countries excavated these ruins and had the Ethos repair the discoveries in order to increase their military power.
And I'm starting to see where Legend of Heroes got its inspiration from.
The various weapons excavated from the ruins were changed the form of warfare. The outcome of the battles between the two countries was no longer determined by man-to-man combat, but by gears, giant humanoid fighting machines that were obtained from deep within the ruins. So basically, your mech suits, your Gundams.
Yeah, this is literally the first, like, half of the Trails series going on here. Metal Gear. Yeah, that...
Eventually, after continuous swings in the state of war, Kislev gained the upper hand. The major factor between this lay in the enormous difference in the amount of resources buried within their ruins. But suddenly, a mysterious military force appeared in the continent of Ignis. Called Gebler, this force decided to make contact with Av. With the assistance of this Gebler military force, Av was able to recover from being hopelessly outnumbered to being back on an even standing with Kislev. Then, taking further advantage of its newly gained momentum, Av started to capture one territory after another from Kislev, showing no indication of slowing down in their invasion campaign.
So I'm going to assume that you're pronouncing it like that on purpose because of the voicing.
No, it doesn't actually get voice acted. It's just that there's some minor mistranslations of Hebrew terms here because of how it got translated from, taking a Hebrew term, transcribing it in Japanese, then translating it back into English in 1998.
Okay, so this is going to be like a continuing trend of like massive biblical... I mean, more than the current
If you
games
thought it was overt in Xenoblade 1 and 2, you have not seen anything yet.
Yeah.
It does not get harder than this.
I recall you explaining to me that, like, Pyrrha even has a pretty spoilery thing on her. Like, that it plays a massive significance with this.
You will see what I mean. The remote village of Lahan in the outskirts of Av near the border with Kislev. So yeah, all the towns in this game are named after Hebrew names of months on the calendar. This is where it all begins.
You got that naming themes, man. I love that shit.
And here's an actual look at the in-game visuals, which is not bad for 1998, except for the fact everything's on fire.
I mean, the fact that we don't have Z fighting on the textures already, that shows that this was peak PS1 era.
Yeah, this was made in the same engine as Final Fantasy VII, I believe, because both of those games would have been in development at roughly the same point in time.
Oh.
Because, fun fact, Xenogears actually started as a concept pitch for what became FF7, and since Sakaguchi vouched for Takahashi, the director of this game, to actually go through with it, it's possible that some of one's work may have influenced the other.
Okay. So I'm assuming this is pretty much the mech combat tutorial.
Not yet.
At least a show of what to expect.
Something like that. That's one down.
I guess we're voice acting this.
Oh, you'll hear plenty of what passes for voice acting in this game later, trust me. Emphasis on passes for. Faye, you're ruining the fucking real estate around here. Stop it.
Have you not watched Dragon Ball? You're supposed to fight in deserted areas!
By the way, I like that he actually crouches down as if the shrapnel almost hit him. That's a very nice touch.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
That is...
There's some really neat attention to detail in this game.
Yeah, no joke.
And now he's back up yelling, what the fuck?
Probably. Also, this is a little more than peak Mitsuda music, man. This is like Apex.
Yeah, this
Apex
is,
tier.
in my opinion, this is his best work he's ever done. And we flash back to just before that happened, I guess. Painting a weirdly ominous picture.
Oh god, tell me. I know I'm going to be calling stereotypes here, but please tell me he's not the type of person that's going to pull a Razafon. I had a vision. I must paint it on the canvas.
No. This is just like this only comes up every so often in conversations, but it's just like, here's a hobby our main character has, despite being a punch boy. Alright, now for a short break. And now actual gameplay. So here's our protagonist of this game, Fei Fong Wong.
Okay, it's definitely before the analog era.
Yeah, there's no analog controls here, so you're stuck to 8-directional gridded movement.
That's...
Check under the bed, by the way.
Is there a run button?
X is confirm. Or cross, if you want to be specific. Yep, just Chrono Cross had the same thing. There's actually a lot of small hidden elements in this game, and I remember specifically because there was a demo disc of these opening hours.
Fair enough.
You can also get a close-up look to some of Faye's different paintings.
Yeah, I like that. They're just like, we made these assets. You're going to look at them.
I mean, they're not bad looking for the resolution that was available at the time.
Okay, so I was wondering if there's like a...
You can also hold circle to run.
Yeah, I saw. I did that earlier.
There is stuff to... there is stuff in that little cubby over there in the center.
Right here?
No. The other room. Yeah. Like, see that spider web up there?
One of them. Doing my due diligence.
Yep. Press triangle under it. You can jump and you can grab stuff.
If this had webcam, you would be seeing me going, what?
There will be some platforming in this game, and some of it is actually kind of bad.
Oh boy.
Just gonna warn you right now. And square is menu. A little bit of a delay there. That's present in the original game. So...
I was about to say, is that an emulation thing? Because I do believe.
No. Even in the PS1 original, there's like a little bit of a ooh.
This is the emulation or PlayStation emulation stuff.
Yeah.
I do believe I have it set to. I could set it to fast speed. Maybe that won't cause any problems.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. But yeah, that delay was in the original. Don't worry about it. So, yeah. As you can see, we're starting at level 1, and we're working off smaller numbers similar to something like Chrono Trigger, so 50 out of max of 999.
Okay. And he is definitely Kung Fu Man.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's even outright based on a mythical Chinese hero by the name of Wong Fei Hung, I believe.
Just really, really... And, okay, so, hold up. If... My RPG senses are definitely hitting me in the face here. Something tells me the actual weight here is going to play into something.
No.
Really, that is just pure flavor.
As far as anyone has been able to tell, there's been like multiple old wives' tales about this on GameFAQs, but people have actually wondered about this for ages, and at best, they think that it might have some sort of paltry effect, but if it does, it's like totally negligible. Otherwise, it seems to just be there entirely as flavor.
Okay, well, without looking at the source, one would never know.
Exactly. Like, people have data mined this game, though, and even then, it's not necessarily conclusive.
No.
So, we can't save anywhere, we have to go to a save point, but we can, because this was the old days of memory cards, we can copy and delete files right from there.
Yeah, that... I mean, I'm pretty sure you could probably just save by doing that,
Yeah.
but...
You can also talk to that, oh, well, okay, you can just go right the fuck to sleep. Why not?
I don't want to be awake anymore, I had a weird dream.
But yeah, you can also talk to that maid there, and I want to bring up a little something when you do.
Sure.
Yeah, by the way, you have a compass, you can turn the camera, which was unheard of in RPGs at the time.
Yeah?
So, you're looking well today. My, how time flies. Why, it's already been 3 years since you came to our village. Faye is 18, for the record. They took you in all bloody and soaking. To tell the truth, they didn't think you were going to make it. So, NPCs in this game are kind of chatty, and it's not all necessarily like, welcome to Corneria type stuff. A lot of it can actually be kind of interesting. Like,
Hence the...
You would completely miss this if you didn't talk to her before proceeding to a certain point.
Interesting.
Do you remember anything? Why, they say you had terrible nightmares and constantly called out for your father. Already alluding to stuff.
I get this feeling that that scene is in the past. That scene at the very beginning was in the past.
And here we have a flashback to that fateful day. 3 years ago.
That fateful day. 3 years ago.
Again, you would completely miss this if you didn't talk to that lady at a specific point in time.
You know, I'm getting my hardcore JRPG thing.
You're getting that pat up in you.
Yeah. And I want to talk to everybody.
You want me to look after this boy?
He ate all of my food! Take him! Take him!
Just Grandpa Gohan dumping him off.
Right.
But now you're so healthy and strong, and it's all thanks to our village chief Lee. You should be grateful. Or should you be grateful? I don't know. Words.
That is definitely a mistranslation, or
So,
whoever their editor was.
Fun fact about this game's translation, by the way. It was all one guy.
Okay.
They were originally going to have a team, but so many people got transferred or begged to quit that it came down to one particularly stubborn individual effectively living in his workplace to get this game done by its deadline. So it's hard to really be too upset over some minor quibbles with the translation, realizing it was basically all just one dude trying to make sure that it was at least serviceable.
Well, okay, I'm not being too harsh, mostly because of the time this came out.
Yeah, that too.
But, at the same time, I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah, no, like,
give it issues.
he really did his best with the circumstances he was given.
That was an unnecessary camera circle.
Yeah, some of these scenes have very specific camera positionings, and they will go places sometimes to make sure of it. Well, we have to talk about the big day tomorrow with the village chief.
Oh, it's the Coming of Age festival.
Oh yeah, tomorrow, huh?
Oh.
Your wedding with Alice. Now that is a big day.
Fucking plot twist.
Yeah, it turns out, homegirl in the village isn't your first love interest.
Right.
Yeah, right, but it still hasn't really hit me as reality, though.
He was cruising for it, though. You could definitely tell by that dialogue.
Timothy, I just want to thank both you and Alice.
Okay, I was wondering if it was just going to continue to spin.
Yeah, no, this game has some interesting things it does with its camera. Most of it good, some of it questionable. I didn't really know who I was, where I'd been, or what I'd been doing up until that day. I couldn't recall a single thing. Despite that, you and Alice sympathized with me and encouraged me to go on. If the two of you hadn't been there for me, I don't know what would have become of me. Timothy, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
See, in my head, I'm hearing
Like you're
the guy who does Bato's voice in Ghost in a Shell, but a little younger sounding.
See, I actually think that if, like, okay, like big brain time, if this game ever did get like a modern remaking of some kind,
There's a good chance.
I think that Keiji Tang would actually be a pretty good pick as a voice for Faye.
Probably.
Like, I could imagine him working really well. You don't have to go and get all mushy on me. Anyway, to me, it feels like I've always been friends with you ever since we were kids.
Yeah, I'm already feeling my expectations being defied by just these interactions alone. I'm just sitting here waiting for, like, the typical anime, you know, bullshit of, like, oh, the childhood friends, now rivals, and I mean, it's still too early to call that, but it's building it up as, like, these two actually had a healthy friendship.
We'll see. Ah, of course. Anyways, there's a... Oh yeah, Faye, could you stop by and check on Alice? I still have stuff to discuss with my old man and the village chief. But I'm sure she'll be glad to have some company. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Anyway, I'll see you later. Oh, and I really am looking forward to the ceremony tomorrow. Alright, so we can go out the door over there if you want.
But the people...
Like, you are really just gonna talk to everyone.
Well, you can kind of tell when it's not an important dialogue when their text box just kind of comes up.
Yeah, because they turn off all the HUD elements, including the compass, usually, if it's something super important. And again, this is something I do appreciate about this game, is that even other RPGs of the time somewhat had this problem where, like, everyone always complains about how, with the exception of Earthbound, a lot of NPC dialogue feels super dry and like it's there to be exposition. But here it actually kind of feels like, hey, these people have lives and they're actually contributing to setting up parts of this narrative and core themes. Not all of them, but some of them. Like, even some of the Mana games, as much as I know you love those, have that problem.
Oh, no, I will not deny that. I'm a person that will not...
Hello. That is a forehead.
What?
And here... I didn't know they snuck one of your childhood photos in here.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Okay.
Angriest Pat, age 8, colorized.
Right?
Hello there, Dan. You're lively today, as you are every day. Don't stare at the forehead. Don't stare at the forehead. Don't stare at the forehead. I know you can see yourself in it, Faye, but just don't stare at it.
But if you shine the light off of it perfectly, you can see the stars.
Like, look at this 90s-ass character design right here.
Well, not only that, but this dude literally looks like, you know where he's about to start balding? Because it's the part of the hair that doesn't stick outward. Like, everything else above that is just already starting.
Look at those eyebrows, too. Holy crap.
God, I know. He looks like he's got a little bit of beard.
Like, this kid is like 8, and he already has the look of someone who's just entirely done with their life.
No, see, what this guy looks like is like age 8 Dr. Wily. Like, you see it, right?
I do now.
I'm gonna get that damn Mega Man!
Just angrily bashing toy robots together.
Yeah, just...
I have some business with my friend Faye. Does that business involve buying you a hairband, Dan? Please tell me yes.
This is definitely a blind playthrough, yeah. I do believe that is...
He is going in blind. I am basically his resident expert. I'm going to try not to backseat because this is admittedly one of my favorite games of all time. I've also read the Perfect Works, which is the combination art and lore book. There's scans of it online, so I am basically his resident lore expert here.
So there's probably gonna be a lot of stuff that the game's gonna have, and I'm just gonna miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, there's a lot of stuff that there are ideas they wanted to try, but at best you'll see some minor allusions as if those were an established thing. I might bring them up as they come up, but I'll try not to make too big a deal out of it if it's just like, nah, they explain this later in-game anyway.
Okay.
There's a certain person listening in who could cause us trouble. It's really important. We gotta talk. Seriously. One-on-one. Man-to-man.
And thank you, Ypsilon. I definitely already am having fun with this game, because this is just right up my alley.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Like, you were dead quiet, that opening cinematic.
Yeah, no, that was some front loading right there.
Yeah, it was.
Like, that's how you catch someone right. You give them that no context stuff.
And then you slowly build up the context later, which this game will do. Be seeing you, Timothy. Take care of yourself until tomorrow.
And with 3 dots.
Them ellipses. And I'm pretty sure he just gave him the piss off sign where you put the hand under the elbow and hold up the fist.
Yeah, the of yours.
What's up with him? As of tomorrow, I'm going to be that kid's brother-in-law. That part isn't going to be no honeymoon.
And that kid already seems like a freaking handful.
Alright, so we have all of outside to check out.
Which, that will be...
Yeah, you have to actually click on the doors to go through them. And
Yeah.
by the way, look at this germ from which Xenoblade spawned from. Look at how big this town is.
Oh my
Look at how much there is in this game from 1998. There is a whole perimeter you can run around here.
And there's just like...
There's NPCs all over the place just going about their day.
Well,
Look at this.
Not only that, but like... This place... What the hell?
That's the windmill.
Oh.
The windmill makes noise.
Sure shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want, and if you think that's really neat, go to that well.
Oh, please tell me. Am I gonna hear?
Jump. Do it. That was a close one. This well is dangerous. Perhaps it's better if I don't go near it again. Well done. You found a weird item.
Oh, this.
You think that's neat?
Oh, okay. No, they done goofed. Here comes the mine goblins. I'm gonna have to jump down every single well in this game now.
This is the only well you can jump down.
Are you fucking serious? Is this a phantom wall in Dark Souls 2 thing?
It might be because this is the town that they put in demo discs that they sent out for the game. So this has a lot of hidden collectibles that you don't see in any other town.
Okay, so...
By the way, as for that weird item, press square and go in your items to see what exactly it is. Go into items.
What? What?
So yeah, this game has monster mats, and one of them is just in the well for some reason. By the way, I'm going to tell you this because I know it will affect your mine goblins. There are special vendors later who will buy those for higher prices than normal shops. So don't sell it yet. And you want a real 1-2 punch? There's more items if you keep jumping in the well, but it's all based on RNG.
Down we go.
There's 2 more counting that one you just got. The third one is probably the best in my opinion.
Perhaps if I
Yeah, it's RNG, so you have to keep doing it. Like, I used to think it was just the eyeball until I kept doing it on a whim as a kid. Again, I had the demo disc before I owned the actual game, and that's how I found out about it.
I'm only going to do this like 2 more times. I don't want to spend like the next half an hour.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, I'm also curious if it's like, it also depends on the angle you jump at it into.
You know?
Because you're jumping at it in the same angle every time, so maybe it's like the different triggers are...
Maybe. And he kicks me out the same angle, so...
Yep. Because that's where the event flag is, or however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, the event flag. That's very proper.
Yeah, so... Because the third item that you get from this is an accessory, and that's specifically why I'm pushing you to do this. Because it is a fairly nice one for this early on in the game. Yep, there's number 2. All's well that ends well. You found an Aquasol S. That's basically your high potion.
Gotcha.
Normal Aquasol recovers 50 HP. Aquasol S recovers 150.
Xenogears Part 1, the Fickle God, aka the Well. Definitely know what I'm going to be naming this stream here in a bit. It is now Will Gods Be Praised.
Alright.
I think it is genuinely by angle, because I got something different from that angle.
Right. It might be. Or it just might be RNG and we don't know.
It could be. It could be.
Be well. Come on.
Welcome to my stream where I spend the next half an hour jumping into a well trying to get one item.
And of course, as soon as you say that, your screensaver transitions to night.
Oh, that transitions constantly.
I know. I'm just saying the timing. I'm just
funny.
saying the timing was great from my
Yeah,
perspective.
the timing was absolutely great. And I think it is indeed RNG based. Keep looking in, Faye. You'll find something eventually.
There it is. Power ring.
There's the item.
All right, go.
Nice.
So you want to go into equipment for that one? So the way equipment works is a little weird in that it's not necessarily segmented into weapon, armor, accessories. It's that you have 3 accessory slots and 2 of them can be armor.
Okay, so...
Martial Cap is the lowest value. It only gives you 1 point of defense.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Power Ring gives you +2 to attack. This is a small numbers game, so that does actually make more of a difference than you might think.
Okay. It's nice to play a game that's actually small numbers for once.
Alright, so Dan should be around here somewhere if you want to go look for him.
Let's see,
Yep, there's the forehead.
there's Dr. Wowie.
Oh good, Faye. You ready to talk?
Dr. Wowie.
As you know, tomorrow's finally the day of my sister's wedding.
We have to stop.
So what I want to talk to you about is exactly that. Alice's marriage.
Dr. Wowie.
Faye, to be perfectly honest with you, I've always wished you could have been my brother.
Yo, is he trying to...
It's still not too late. You could go steal Alice and run off with her. If you need me to help, I'd be glad to.
Oh my god, what is wrong with this kid?
Already? He's only 8 and he's already getting you into that NTR.
What do you want, Sophia?
Like,
Just a, hello, excuse me, streamer?
oh hey Charlotte.
Right.
Like, it's not for me to say this, but my sister's beautiful and a good cook. This is just between you and me, but she's well endowed too.
Oh, good fucking god, this kid.
Yeah, no, there's a reason everyone thinks Dan is a little fucking gremlin. I will tell you this right now, it genuinely does not matter in the long run.
Okay. I'm gonna take the high ground.
What are you talking about, Dan? Timothy and Alice are both my best friends. You know I can't do that. Yeah, I know that. Well, if you're gonna be like that... But if you change your mind, come and talk to me.
Gives you the up yours.
Kind of. So there's a little bit to explore around here apart from that. Like, don't go too far past the buildings because that's where the world map boundary is.
Okay. So... it could literally kick me out just the moment I pass. Hey, look at door.
Yeah, there's actually a back door here. Because this is a hub. So that's the employee entrance. Ah, Faye, that's the back door. Go around and come in through the front door.
That's...
an amazing detail for this period, isn't
That's cheeky. That is so cheeky.
Sorry.
You're good.
But yeah, this is...
I keep seeing it peek off to the side there. So.
Oh, my bad.
Then I did turn up the gain a little bit. I don't know if it's...
I'm also going to sit back a little bit if that helps.
Yeah. That lets me increase the gain just that little bit more and not worry about you clipping it when you lean forward.
Right. Just...
hopefully everything sounds pretty good right now.
Check 1, 2,
Still kinda...
check 1, 2.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on the
But yeah.
audio there.
Yeah. This place is pretty well realized. Lately, my legs have been giving me trouble. It's really getting to me. I'd like to go and have Dr. Shitanuzuki take a look at me and tell me what's wrong. But it's a dreadful chore to climb that mountain path to visit the doctor. It must be a sign of my mage.
Of fucking course.
Of course what?
The doctor on the mountain, that's like atypical, like...
That's just a typical fantasy village thing.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Zofia, I absolutely agree. Like, this is Trails in the Sky, or Trails series level of just everything alive.
Yeah. This game doesn't have a lot of towns compared to other RPGs, but they make up for it with the sheer scale.
Just because ours is getting married doesn't mean we have to, or you have to be sad. Faye, when I get bigger, I'll be your bride. I had to. I'm sorry.
Just...
Something tells me this is also not... Something tells me here in about 10-15 minutes, this whole fucking place is gonna be on fire and everyone's gonna be dead.
I mean, we just sort of saw that might well happen early on, remember?
So, sure, I'll oblige this child's...
I wonder if this was something different in Japanese, because that's more of a rhyme you usually hear in the English world.
There's definitely a Japanese equivalent of this. Oh, yeah, no. Like, I actually had a orchestral arrange for, like, and I do believe it's still on my computer somewhere. I have the orchestral arrange for the soundtrack by Mitsuda that was made, like, years after the fact. He even admits in one of the leaflets, like, during an interview, he loved making the soundtrack.
Even though this was back during the time when he was working himself, literally to the point that as soon as he was done and he turned in the completed score, he would basically just fall over on the floor and go to the hospital because he was just fucking sick and denying himself some basic needs sometimes.
Good freaking God.
Yeah, like, he worked himself to the bone back then.
Something tells me
he was also a heavy smoker back then, too, apparently, which didn't help.
Can you pet the dog? You can interact with the dog. I don't know about petting the dog thing.
I don't know. By the way, you see that kid up there on the roof? You can actually get to him if you go around the back.
Or just...
Remember to turn the camera. Remember.
No, I know. I'm just, like, laughing at the fact that he sticks a little bit.
Yeah, there's collision here. In fact, most of the character sprites, not all of them, but most of them also have collision. So you can jump on people's heads in this game.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Stomp the child flat!
Birds are great. They can fly so high in the sky and go wherever they need to. If Mountains Are Nice New is so great, why is there no Mountains Are Nice New 2? Mountains Are Nice New 2. This kid. You know, Faye, Mom was saying that you might have come from a faraway place.
God, just... I'm wanting to just settle on that theory right now that he was literally on that ship, and that ship was the past.
If you were a bird, you could fly back to your real home anytime you wanted.
Yeah, that was actually the album I was referencing to, by the way. The Time and Space Apart.
Okay.
There's multiple tribute albums as well. There's Time and Space and what was the other one?
Creed?
Creed, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting there's a run button.
Yeah. You definitely want to remember that because it makes things go a lot faster. Oh, I'm wondering what I can plant next. By the way, just like in Chrono Trigger, you can move around as some NPCs talk, and it cuts off their dialogue. That's exactly what you just did there.
Have the Dark Soul situation of, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You run away from my convos.
There's another Easter egg. Go to the other end of the town. You'll see like some people at a picnic. Other end. Go to the south. And I can say south because you have a compass.
Yep. No, I'm glad there's
Yes, those people right there.
Oh yeah, sure enough.
Alright, so go walk on that sheet. They actually respond if you go and walk over their food. Even better, you can keep doing it and get more dialogue.
I don't want to, I already feel bad.
You can also walk into them and get dialogue for shoving them.
Oh, that's great.
By the way, Luca's just here. That's our save point.
Okay, I was about to say, that is...
Yeah, this is our save point.
Not subtle at all.
They call this the memory cube, I believe.
This fucking noise.
Yeah. Xenogears has the best save game screen of all time. Don't talk to her. Fuck.
What's up?
You'll see. So yeah, if you're wondering why Luca is here, the simple answer is Masato Kato was involved in helping with some of the art and map designs in this game, and that is literally the reason. Because he was involved in helping create Lahan. So she's basically just going to explain to you how save points work.
Okay, then I'm going to hit no, not really.
Yep, it is literally Luca. By the way, if you do take the tutorial, she literally mugs you for 28 gold. Like, you don't even get an option. If you say, yes, explain it to me, she just takes 28 gold from you.
Pay for the course.
So this is a bit of a tutorial on how death blows work.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Abilities, death blows, and skill levels. Abilities is self-explanatory. It's basically just each character has a different kind of magic.
Yeah. Deathblow is about the only thing that seems like...
It's unique to this game.
Yeah.
There are 3 strength levels for the ordinary attack option. Weak, triangle button, strong, square button, and fierce attack, X button.
Am I going to be doing quarter circles here in a bit?
Unfortunately, no. It's more like MK or Marvel vs. Capcom inputs.
Oh, so just
it's just very simple, like 3-button commands.
Okay. Well,
death blow skills are special chains of attacks that first use some weak or strong blows to knock your foe off balance, and then end with a fierce blow to do major damage. So all death blows end in a square button prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, X button prompt.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. But first, you must master the use of weak, strong, and fierce attacks in order to become able to learn such death blow skills. Learn how to do combo, you shit.
So, Zeldinched, more or less.
Yeah, it's sort of like Zell's stuff. To master these attacks, you should keep trying to do, say, 4 weak blows in a row, or 2 strong blows, or even a fierce blow accompanied by another type of blow. So basically, vary your combos in order to learn death blows. In other words, the way to learn new death blow skills is through, yep, there we go, frequent use of combinations of the 3 basic attacks. So, what you think? Doesn't just make you want to go out there now and start learning those death blow skills as soon as possible? Here you go. This is an allowance for being such an enthusiastic scholar. 80G.
Hey.
Buy some pencils and books with that, okay? Stick with it, kid.
No.
He only gives you that the first time you talk to him.
I had a feeling.
I'm the village consultant, but to tell you the truth, the village chief knows far more than I do. However, the chief is an awfully busy person, so I've been placed in charge of answering some of the more mundane questions. As a special for this week, we are lecturing on the techniques of martial arts self-defense. Wouldn't you like to learn about it?
Okay, so...
This is the really basic stuff, like attack, defend, AP, which is like your stamina for doing combos.
Okay, so... I'm gonna trust you to help me out with this, and spare some time since we are streaming here.
Yes. Don't worry. I'll explain it as we go, because we will be going up on the quote-unquote first dungeon in a little bit after we talk to Alice.
Okay. Keep forgetting I have to open the door.
Yeah, that's something that definitely trips you up early on.
Oh, it's gonna trip me up forever. Hopefully there's no timer scenes.
There's one more thing to look at, and that's in that house over there.
The windmill?
No. The small one you're standing right in front of. The dome.
Yeah, I was trying to turn the camera to find the door.
By the way, I like how despite how rustic this looks, there's clearly, like, technology, because you can see those metal, like, tanks out there.
Yeah.
My husband's love for the rock, paper, scissors RPS game is ruining us. Video game advisor quotes, everybody. Just recently, he even said he had a dream of receiving the hero title from the RPS King.
Is this the triple triad?
No.
Okay.
But it's still terrible.
He's just practicing over there by the wall.
But he's just so good.
H-Ni-san! H-Ni-san!
So, this guy right here, he's going to ask you to fight him in rock, paper, scissors, but there's a catch. Each time you win, you get 50G. Each time you lose, you have to pay him 50G. If you beat him 5 times in a row, without losing once, he gives you a badge.
I'm gonna do this once. Yeah, that was a special reward mentioned.
Such an amateur. Here we go. 1, 2. By the way, you have a hard time limit.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to pick it quick, or else you get penalized and your combo gets ended.
Sure enough. I'm not gonna go. Is that badge even worth the shit?
There might be something involving it later.
No.
Okay, fair enough. And then there's this lady here. Well, if it isn't Faye, isn't it exciting to know Timothy's wedding is going to be tomorrow? I think it's time you found a wonderful girl like Alice yourself.
Darlington! Darlington, you playing them devil games again?
I think this is the opposite of devil games where this game is going.
Oh god, yeah, I know, right?
You want to, there is definitely a correct answer here. What do you think of the village?
I like it.
I like it. The village leader has taken such good care of me. Everyone in the village has warmly accepted me. Regardless of where I may have been born and raised, Lahan is now my home. Yes, it makes me happy to just hear that. Here, take this as an allowance. Don't squander it all at once. So, for being nice, 120 gold.
I'm gonna go squander it on rock, paper, scissors guy.
You really don't if you don't want to, honestly.
I mean, go ahead. Since I'm committing to not doing it, what's the significance of that?
There are 3 badges that you can miss, and this is one of them. And if you get all 3, you can hand them in to a certain vendor in the middle of the game, and he'll give you some items.
Okay.
They're not bad, but it's like this is not a particularly hard game, so you don't even really need it. It's just like, it's nice to do, and it's a reward for completion's sake, but it's like, you can ignore it safely.
Okay, so it's something that's absolutely missable.
Yes. Like I said, this village has a lot of little nooks and crannies and things to explore. Not every other village is going to be like this.
Okay, and I'm going to assume this is progression.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't check out the pub, did we?
We didn't go full into the pub, but I get this feeling that, like, this place isn't actually going to go...
There is one thing in there,
Flames.
actually, that I do want to show you. The pub, I mean.
Okay, well, let's...
You can't miss it. It's right there where Dan is standing. You can see because there's a tiny sign on it.
Really tiny.
So there's a lot of NPCs in here. I guess it's happy hour.
You stood out.
Young one, beware. I can see it. There is a dark and icy wind that blows where you are going. A wind that nurtures grief and resentment, and fighting death from which there is no salvation. No one will be able to escape from it, but you, and only you, must eventually face up to that dark wind. Just kidding. I've always wanted to try saying that.
I was getting ready to walk away from this guy.
Did I scare you? I'm really sorry.
God.
Oh, look at that guy over there in the corner.
Yeah, the dude that looks like he's not having a good time.
He looks like he's nursing a hangover. You heard the latest rumors? It said that in the southern desert of Ob, there's buried treasure all over the place.
Alright. You're going to die, JK! Ha 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 ha! No, for real though, I'm going to murder you. That was like what I was expecting after he was like, I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
Just fucking Sahasrara up in here.
You're looking like you're going to die. With your supple hamstrings. Are you serious right now? Is everybody fucking cutting their dialogue here?
Like I said, NPCs in this game are chatty.
No shit.
Oh my. Welcome, Faye. You want to have some fun? I give the best service in the Han, you know.
Oh, she's about to give some of that puff puff.
Yep. Hey, Ellen, quit teasing the innocent kid. Yeah, I know. It's just a joke, blockhead.
But I want the puff puff.
He's got sharp hearing. Anyway, maybe next time, okay, Faye? I'll be waiting.
Oh my god, it actually was puff puff.
You got a problem with me drinking at midday?
Yeah? No,
How can I not be drinking? God damn it.
it's beer 30 somewhere. Technically, it's beer 30 right now.
One of these is a correct answer.
Let's see, do I want to be the straight edge here? Or do I want to be the enabler? Because I know that may result in something not great.
Yeah, that is an incorrect answer.
Yeah, it's very clear. There's two possible good answers. Is the enabler or the straight edge. And I'm just going to go straight edge.
Shut up. What would you know? You don't know how I feel. I wouldn't want you to know. Damn it.
He was trying to get me to buy
No.
it.
Wait up, boy. I'll give you this. Take it. And he's just like, huh? What is that? I have no use for it. Don't worry about it. Just take it. Nobody knows. In the depths of the sea, a teardrop shed by a mermaid. Received a mermaid tear.
So that was the right answer.
Yes.
I'm starting to figure out what this game's winning of me.
That item is a item that you are going to be holding onto for a while. It does not become relevant until literally the ass end of the game. And you can completely miss it if you pick any other answer than the one you picked.
Love them old RPGs. I'm starting to get some Yaska Jewel vibes here from Tales of Symphonia.
Oh, don't even bring that up.
You want to fight the same boss 8 times with progressively more moves? Let's do it.
Oh. No. No. I wouldn't need anything else if I could only live together with my family. Just the 3 of us. Why can't Nen understand something so simple?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm stuck. Thanks, cat.
Remember, you have a jump button.
Oh, thank God. Bye. You're definitely daydreaming. Get out of here.
Actually, no. I think you can talk to her daughter on the balcony if you go out the door in that room, and she basically says, "Oh, my dad's working in Av." So her whole thing is just her husband is working abroad, and she's like, "I miss him."
Huh, fair enough.
I don't know if it's impressive or pathetic that I actually remember such a remote detail off the top of my head.
Dude, the fact that you love this game as much as you do, that doesn't surprise me one bit.
I guess not. So yeah, here's our progression. Apart from rock, paper, scissors guy, who we're just gonna not fuck with.
Yeah, okay.
That is the only other thing of important was the mermaid tier.
Okay. Well, thank you for pointing that out to me.
Yeah.
That was definitely worth the extra step through.
Yeah, again, I didn't want to be like hand-holdy and just tell you outright. I wanted to actually hang back a little bit and go, is he gonna get this on his own?
Yeah, no, you're pretty much doing what V Mills was doing with Wooly when it comes to KOTOR 2.
Yeah,
Just guide the hips a little bit.
Just get in there ever so slightly, like the ghost with the pottery. Just gently right in there, leaning up close.
Just God, what actor was that for that movie?
I forget.
Which is
like
weird Patrick Swayze.
Maybe like
Patrick Swayze, that shit.
And it's weird because that was just like that was parried all over the place in like 2003, 2004.
Oh, dude, it's still being parried.
It is. Wow.
Parodied.
It's been 10 years since my brother and his wife passed away. So yeah, a little bit of context for Alice and Dan. They basically have been living on their own with their aunt.
Woof.
We did our best to raise the two children in their place. But now, as far as Alice is concerned, I can finally say my job is done. I know Timothy will take good care of her from here on. Now all that's left is Dan. I'm gonna have a hard time raising him to adulthood. I'll be surprised if adult Dan somehow has more hair than he does already.
I would be surprised if Dan grows up to not be Dr. Wily.
Dan grows up to be Corey. As in Beardman Corey.
Yeah.
Is that your wedding dress? By the way, that's just a nice little detail now that I think about it, is the fact they took the time to actually give a unique sprite mesh for the wedding dress. You only see it this one scene.
Oh, so it has its own model there.
Yeah, that is its own sprite and texture.
Nice.
And again, you only see it here. Yes, I just finished it. It took more work than I expected.
Trying to get my viewer count going here.
You did a great job there. It'll look wonderful on you, Alice. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Right.
Hey, Alice? Oh, Faye.
Oh. We'll do that immature thing. Oh.
What is it? Oh, nothing. I see. Oh, yes, that's right. Faye, have you seen Dan? Yeah, he's outside, bragging as always. So by the way, that line, that is actually different if you didn't talk to Dan before doing this.
Really?
Yeah, he actually says he's probably outside bragging as usual. So it's still ultimately the same effect, but it changes context to show you didn't talk to him.
Interesting.
That kid. I just told him I had an errand for him to run. Yeah? What kind of errand? It's for my wedding ceremony tomorrow. I was hoping you could go borrow a camera and some lights from Dr. Uzuki up on top of the mountain. Or up on the mountain peak.
I mean, you had... Yeah.
If that's all it is, I'll be glad to do it for you. Could you? Oh, but I couldn't possibly. Don't worry, it's no problem. Anyways, it doesn't exactly make me feel comfortable having Dan handle such delicate instruments. What's more, I might have a chance to eat some of Yui's cooking if I go to the doc's place. That's my Faye.
He's always eating things out of house and home.
Well, I'll go up there and now and get them for you. Oh, Faye, wait.
I'm suddenly tempted to read her voice. And that whole exasperated old lady
Just
voice.
read it as like early 2008, 2009 abridging attempts at doing a quote-unquote girl quote-unquote voice.
Right. I am totally female. I am totally girl.
Is there something else you want me to get from Chitan? By the way, if you're wondering why I'm pronouncing it like that, it's because his name was slightly misromanized.
Okay.
Even though it's spelled with a C in English, it's meant to be Shitan Uzuki, so S-H-I-T-A-N.
Right.
Some people believe it might have been intentionally misspelled because they were worried the ESRB wouldn't be happy with the fact that this character has the word shit in his name.
Yeah, that sounds like an ESRB thing.
Especially considering 98.
Yeah. Fresh off the whole violent video games is hurting our children's.
Yep. And this would have been around the same year people were getting mad that Pokemon was satanic because it promoted evolution. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
I was around for that.
I hate that.
Oh, it's nothing. I'm sorry. You know, it's funny you say that about Xenogears and EVA because, believe it or not, while there are definitely some riffs on it, a lot of the similarities in tone are, believe it or not, very coincidental because Tetsuya Takahashi, the director for this game, big fan of mecha series, particularly G Gundam.
Oh yeah, G Gundam was kind of a thing.
Yeah, it would have been relatively new at the time this was being made, because I think it started airing in 93, 94 in Japan.
That explains the animation.
Be careful on that mountain path, and give my regards to Dr. Uzuki. So yeah, I would describe this game a little less as akin to Evangelion and more G Gundam with a bunch of the director's vague interest in religion and existentialism thrown in. I mean, it ultimately culminates to a similar effect, but you'll see what I mean later on.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of a tease there that maybe there's more going on here.
Absolutely.
And I like how the music continues even for this brief moment you're walking out the door.
Yep.
So we're now free to leave the village and go to the mountain path.
Boy, I'm hoping I'm going the right way.
So fun fact, this most paths take you directly to the world map where you're meant to go to the mountain path anyway, but there is a specific roadway in Lahan that takes you straight there and skips the world map transition.
So I literally took not that road.
You can just go there from here anyway, and by the way, world map music here is great. Listen to this.
It's gonna soak that music in for a minute as the waves in the background kind of peek over the mountains.
Yeah, that's a little detail I like, and the waves look pretty good for 98, how they got water physics in here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was one of my favorite things to do as a kid, was to just stand on that cape over there and watch the water as I listened to the music. There's your battle transition, by the way.
Good old glass breaks.
So here's our first basic, just sword fodder enemy here, Hobgobs. They're very weak enemies, but they do have a percentile HP drain attack.
Gotcha, so they can be a problem. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a stamina point system in place. You have 3 stamina points right now. Triangle attacks take 1, square takes 2, X takes 3. You get more stamina points at certain level capstones.
Gotcha.
By the way, monsters don't drop money. Only human enemies drop money in this game.
Interesting.
You also got Hob Jerky, which is a item that can only be used outside of battle. It's basically just a reskinned Aquasol. So the mountain path is those 4 trees over there.
Yeah, I see that. I'm just getting some extra...
Yeah. So here's my first instance of some peek behind the curtain trivia here as someone who is turbo nerd about this game. This song we're listening to is technically an instrumental of a song that was cut from the game. It is still on the disc, but it was cut for time because the original intro was actually going to be longer than just that cutscene we watched. There was going to be like a full opening credit sequence with it too. However, they cut it for time because the sequence that the song, which is called Star of Tears, was originally going to be for, plus the intro movie would have totaled roughly 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And they figured that was too long, plus the opening, crawl stuff to leave the player idle.
Gotcha. I mean, if that was something for nowadays, that'd be really...
That wouldn't be too out of place nowadays.
No, it would definitely be...
There's a few ways this game was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad song, too. There's like uploads of it from like game rip sites or on YouTube, and it's not bad. It's a vocal track, too. Like, they got like an actual English language singer to do the lyrics. And here we have the mountain bath.
Yeah, I figured I'd just do like one more battle just to get a better feel for how the game plays out.
So yeah, interesting thing. There is no music in this quote-unquote dungeon. It's just ambient nature sounds. This is not an exception for various areas in the game either.
Fair enough.
This game didn't have a lot of budget, so they needed to spare themselves some expenses on music.
I just got dodged.
Yeah, that's the trade-off with stronger attacks, is that they hit harder, but they're slightly less accurate.
Gotcha.
By the way, it's interesting that it doesn't show you experience to next level or anything. It just constantly counts it up in the battle results screen.
I mean, you can just...
Yeah, it just tells you right there. So you can read that sign, by the way.
Oh, no, but, save point.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. Well, I'm streaming, so why should I rotate saves?
Yeah. This is not really, like... I will tell you if there's something you can miss because I'm right here, but even then, it's not a lot you need to worry about. Like, oh, your run's completely fucked. You need to... No.
No.
At worst, it's just like you missed an optional treasure that would be nice to have, but this is not a hard game.
Gotcha.
This way, walking course. Watch out for the cliffs. That way, doctor's house, right after the bridge. There's a couple treasures you can find here, but it's mostly just to the effect of, like, here's an extra potion, because this is basically your starter dungeon.
Gotcha. I'm still going to do it anyways. I'm just going to sprint through.
Another little detail is if you're playing this on an original PlayStation 1, or I think also a PlayStation 2, you can tell when the game's loading in a battle transition because you hear the disk drive speeding up.
That whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's an interesting thing, and very few areas do this, but you were on a cliff over there, which means these enemies here, because they're kind of rooted in the ground, they can't jump over and get you. So they just wasted their turns waiting. That jackal you wasted, on the other hand, if you transitioned over here to kill one of those hobgobs, it would have jumped after you for its turn. So here's your level up. HP up. So stat ups in this game are semi-random.
Okay.
On top of that, don't worry about the +1 because this is basically a low numbers game and it works off Fire Emblem rules where it's not about how much the stat goes up, it's about how many stats you get up at once per level.
Gotcha. Also, watch your arm with the microphone there.
Right, of course. I'm trying to be careful.
I haven't ordered
my gesticulation is a bit...
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
You didn't hit it. It's just you almost did.
Right. But yeah, just, again, this is a low numbers game, just something to keep in mind. Stats tend to sort of, like, even themselves out if they seem a little too low as you level up. I've heard some people, because, again, there's tons of rumors about this game, say that what stats go up, depending on your level, can sometimes depend on how you finish a battle. I'm still not entirely clear on that, but I'm just going to say, even if it is true, you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to fucking worry about a thing.
I mean, you say they can't jump, but, like...
They can't jump over the gorge if you're
Yeah.
on the other cliff.
I'm also noticing he's got unique animations for combos here.
Oh yeah, the sprite animations in this game are really good for their time.
Yeah, that's...
So the way it works is that you have different animations based on what sequencing you do with the buttons. So there's 4 different triangle attack animations, 2 different square animations, and 1 different cross attack animation, depending on the button placements in the combo.
It's my reckless running. That's fine.
You also have Chi, which is basically Faye's unique, quote-unquote, magic abilities. For now, he only has Guided Shot. He will get more as he levels up.
Of course.
Faye kind of fits into that typical JRPG hero mold where he's a bit of a jack of all trades, but... Or at least he tries to be, but he's clearly better suited for just being Punch Boy.
Right. So now my question is, and I'm about to probably answer this myself here, is... Can I... Okay, I guess I can.
Were you trying to cancel the combo?
No, I was trying to spread the attacks between 2 enemies.
You can't do that. Once you choose your target, you have to commit.
Gotcha. Okay, that's understandable detail. That's you commit to your throw and
yeah,
hope that the dice lands on the right point.
Yeah, like you're already seeing there's like even more fighting game influence than like Sabin or Zell.
Yeah, like Sabin especially was just like quick, do a Street Fighter combo.
Like, you haven't seen anything until you see Faye's actual death blows. I'm pretty sure more than a few of them are just blatantly based on attack strings from King of Fighters.
Probably.
Like, no joke, one of his attacks is literally just Terry's Power Wave.
It's pretzel motion, that shit. Yeah, see, that's like my favorite animation so far.
Yeah,
you get a good view of everything.
Yeah, a lot of these animations flow into each other very well, which is surprising because originally the plan was to make this game fully 3D, and the idea of making characters 2D sprites was meant to be a cost-saving procedure, but I think it worked out for the better in the end in terms of the game's presentation.
I also would love to see like a Grandia HD treatment for this game.
The only problem is that nowadays making sprites, at least up to the standards of high definition as we have now, would be just as costly, if not more so, than just doing a 3D model. So you're already seeing a precursor to one of the minor problems some people have with this game's platforming.
Just a slow slide down the cliff, like I
just the slow, not so much walk of shame as descent of shame.
Yeah.
So let's see Guided Shot real. Let's not see Guided Shot real quick.
Look, man, you're about... I don't think you've actually sat down and watched me play an RPG before. I'm very sparing with my skills until I feel they're absolutely needed.
Trust me, this runs off Chrono Trigger rolls where restoring your SP is surprisingly cheap compared to other games.
Fair enough. Alright, let's see some chi then.
So here's Guided Shot.
You know, I was gonna make a Hadouken joke, but that was like...
Literally that.
That was fucking Kikon Ha.
Yeah.
Kikon, go fuck yourself!
What I love about that is when the enemies are up close like that, it's just so abrupt.
Yeah, no, it's like... just a sudden... Right at the end there.
It also has a little bit of utility because I mentioned before there's rare moments where battles will take place on different planes of sorts where enemies can jump between. If an enemy is across a cliff here, like those jackals, you can just hit them from clear across.
Ooh.
Again, it comes up very rarely in this game, which is a bit of a disappointment, but this is basically telling you that you have more jump momentum if you sprint versus just walking normally.
Ooh. Last second that shit there.
Yeah.
Like the sprite was standing.
Yeah, that bridge has physics, by the way, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, when I heard it creak like that, I was like, is this bitch about to break? Are we about to have a Snake Eater moment?
Fortunately, no. So yeah, you can just preempt that jackal because it can jump at you from here.
Fucking wrecked.
Yeah. Again, this is something I wish this game capitalized on more, because this is a fascinating facet that they just weren't able to do much with.
Yeah, no, he literally just could not do anything. He even got his own turn, and that was just...
Yeah.
That's awesome. God, this game's... Where is the HD remake for this?
Thank you!
Oh, so you just picked my real bad. That hurt my ear.
Oh, shit, sorry. But yeah, like, you're asking a question people have been asking for 22 years.
Yeah, no. Monolith. I know I only got like 3 viewers and 19 followers, but come on, Monolith.
Also, there's a thing you can miss right there with that tree. Jump at it.
Are you?
Grab it.
Was that the grab?
No. This guy's just being an asshole.
Let's give him a good headbutt.
Headbutt him so hard he explodes into fresh jerky. Or not.
Did it hit him so hard he didn't turn into jerky?
Yeah. So yeah, jump at him again. Just keep pressing X. I caught a spider.
His face looks wonky right now. His face looks like my face right now. Meant to go to items.
Yep. It's just there. It wiggles and squiggles.
It wiggles and squiggles.
That's not going to be important for another while, but it does have a purpose. By the way, you can't fall down pits like that are like bottomless or anything like a Zelda game. You can only fall down areas you can actually stand in or transition.
So that might play into something. Hello, you. Hello, friend.
Sunkissed, no!
No, we heard Sunkissed.
It's also kind of interesting when you sit back and you realize this is one of the rare occasions where you get a JRPG where the hero not only doesn't use a sword, but just straight up fights with his bare hands. Faye doesn't even get like knuckle dusters or anything. He just does not have a weapon class. He fights entirely with his fists.
He's just over there like, I don't need a gun. My hands are the guns.
Basically, there's literally points in this game where you have to fight people using guns and you just punch the shit out of them even harder.
So that's awesome.
There's not really much worth grinding for here, especially since, again, enemies don't drop money here.
Okay. So we're probably going to take a short break once we get to the doctor's place.
Maybe. Or we could, once we look around a little, because there's a bit to see there, too.
Well, I mean, like, a small break for drinks and stuff.
BRB, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's Dr. Uzuki's house once you go up there. That's the only tree that does that, by the way.
Oh, that is...
This, like, again, this early part has a lot of sneaky stuff like that because this is the part of the game they put out there in the demo disc.
And they just never do anything with it ever after that. That's... Excuse me?
Jackal Tackle.
More like Chocobo Kick. That slow zoom in.
Alright. And that's the end of the dungeon, and... Look at this.
Look at this fantasy-ass house. Like,
look at this Studio Ghibli-ass house.
Right? I was about to say, I was like this bitch is about to sprout some legs and walk off.
And this great music. You can read that sign, by the way. It has writing on both the front and back.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Injured, sick, all accepted. Come on in, but no deceased, please.
Yeah, we don't take that here. No dead guys.
Shitano Uzuki is prepared for many things. A zombie outbreak is not one of them. The shiny foreheads are proof of justice. Stop with the injections, you quack. Good to know they have an accurate depiction of the intelligence quota of anti-vaxxers even back in 1998.
Oh my god! Your shots are giving up chills in the Alps.
Maybe that's why Dan's balding.
Oh no.
You can go inside, by the way. These are just chickens.
That audio.
Yeah, no. Even without headphones, it's meant to be a little harsher than you would like.
Okay, we're gonna
take a quick break in here.
We're gonna do a quick break right
Ooh.
here.
Ooh. Gotta stretch. And we're back.
Yep. And we're back in, and that needs to go... Boop. Gone away.
And we're back in the doctor's house, where he apparently just lets chickens wander around, I guess.
This chicken just has kind of been glued to my leg this entire time.
Bark, bark, motherfucker!
His face looks a little derpy with this.
Yeah, with like the way the sprites are aliased in this game.
Yeah. The chicken just kind of glued itself to my leg.
Yeah. So there's the doctor's wife and his child. Yui and Midori Uzuki.
Okay.
Hi, Midori. It's a nice day. Need to play outside. How about we feed the birds later? Yeah, Midori just doesn't talk. Oh, Faye, welcome.
These outfits...
What? Like, I don't... do you... Are they familiar at all, or...
I mean, the face is familiar for one.
Well, that's because, I mean, 90s anime aesthetics, but also the idea for the designs for a lot of characters around Lahan, like Faye especially, was to make them look, in the director's words, pastoral.
Okay.
Because
okay.
Lahan is, like, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Right. I'm more mean, like, they look a little bit familiar from the opening scene. But I think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Till I get a confirmation.
I'm pretty sure it's just the fact that it is all the same artist. Or they're, like, working off the same design as the main character designer.
Fair enough. I'm assuming he's in the back here.
Where are you, Doc? What's going on?
Something tells me this guy's not a doctor.
This is no good. Why do they use such inferior parts? This is why their intervention strat...
Oh!
Doc!
You!
Yeah, him! Shitan Uzuki. Oh, Faye, good to see you. You alright, Doc? What are you doing all the way up there? I thought I would try to restore this land crab.
Land crab.
Oh, and that explosion was nothing to worry about. It happens all the time. Could you wait a while? I'm just about ready to call it a day. Oh, yes, there's something interesting in the storeroom. Why not take a look?
I'm assuming he's on top of the storeroom.
Yep. Okay, Doc, I will, but please hurry up. It'll get dark before you know it. So there is a little more to explore before we do this. Like, you saw the downstairs of his house, you didn't see the upstairs.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Alright, so if we check that door on your left... Left.
There's multiple door. That one.
It goes nowhere.
I've been spooked by the chicken. He does the chicken things and it just scares the poopy out of me. It looks like a chest, but it's really not. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's like, it's a chest, but it's not a chest.
Oh. I'm assuming this is Midori and his wife's room.
Yeah. Yui.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is that they have Japanese names. I think there's something you can find if you look around in here, or... No, I'm talking shit. I'm thinking of, like, a joke someone made in an LP about, like, raiding the doctor's drug stash. Yeah, so sometimes ladders are weird, and you have to... Where the, transition boxes isn't quite where you think it is, so you have to move the camera. It's not a huge problem, but it does sometimes come up. So we can look through the telescope here, and we can... as soon as it loads, we can see a little bit more of the world map than we could, before.
Yeah, it's twistable.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of nothing here. Except for the desert over there, which I think I saw at least one town render into distance.
Yeah, there's absolutely desert right over there past the, yeah, I'm being careful of the mic, don't worry.
No.
Right over there past the mountains and that big old wall of trees over there.
Yeah. Kind of half renders in, right?
Yeah.
Up there.
Like, this game did a very good job with the resources it had.
Yeah, no.
By the way, you can examine that chimney over there. Yeah. Wow, then.
That chimney's about to get it. That chimney's gonna get one. X gonna get to you.
Like I said, platforming in this game can sometimes be kind of... So...
It'd probably help if I point the camera at it.
Yeah. You only have 8 directions, though, so do be mindful of that. Alright, just go up to it, click on it. A little more. Found some hidden pin money. Fei Fong Wong, kind of a dick.
Stealing some shit.
There's one more thing we can actually find that I just remembered. There's a flower bed directly down from where you are to your east. East, by the compass. So, go behind it. And click on it. Found Midori's ring. Faye put the ring away secretly. This is, just like the Mermaid's Tear, something that you cannot redeem until the end of the game. And you can completely miss it if you don't get it here and now.
Man, this game...
I will repeat once more. It is only for stuff at this part of the game because this is where the demo was.
Good God.
Like, no other point in the game does this kind of bullshit come up. Trust me. It is only in these opening hours. So, with that, we are free to go in here. Alright.
This is just the microphone volume for me.
Right. And you want to examine this? So this is what Doc was talking about. Well, let me see. What's so interesting about it? Oh!
The crab is walking!
What is this?
It's a symbol of God, apparently.
Pretty elaborate for a music box, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I don't think this is the music box.
This music, I've heard it before somewhere.
Oh, you used this in your tabletop, goddamn.
I used a lot of this music in my tabletop.
Yup.
What do you think? Not bad, huh? Doc. Hello again, Faye. Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Music is a mysterious thing. Sometimes it makes people remember things they do not expect. Many thoughts, feelings, memories, things almost forgotten. Regardless of whether the listener desires to remember them or not. Doc, what is this? It was excavated from some old ruins and is still under repair. Obviously, it is an audio device of some sort. Long ago, people would listen to this melody, just as we're doing now. At times, they would have been cheered up, while at times they would have been made to cry. By the way, what brings you here today? Oh, yeah, that's right. We had to turn off our cooling. No, but oh yeah, we had a thing. We had a quest given to us. Alice asked me to borrow some camera equipment from you. Oh yes, her wedding is tomorrow, all right? Understood. Well, we had better get them ready then. Oh, and dinner should be ready soon. Would you like to join us? Would I ever? I was hoping you would ask.
Always in that for that food!
Yep, like any good martial artist coming out in a post-Dragon Ball Z era. I still have some cleaning up to do out here. Would you mind giving Midori some company back in the house? I mean, I can't tell if she likes me or not. She doesn't talk. but okay.
Right. I think your child's a mute.
I think your child has been broken. Can you please take her to the nearest repairman?
Right.
Go right ahead. But I will not be held responsible if you get a stomachache from eating my wife's cooking. Vote of fucking confidence, Shitan. Wow.
Right?
I feel strange when I listen to this music. I feel something warm inside. That just may be because you have someone living inside you. And he too must have liked this music a long time ago before he became a part of you. Doc, the fuck are you talking about? I'm out.
He knows too much.
Is Timothy and Alice's wedding really tomorrow? It might actually be better to live an ordinary life in this condition, as a son of man. Well, anyway, I suppose I'd better adjust the gyro at least. Huh? This cannot be. Is this an omen? Now what's going to happen?
For a man of science, he seems to be awfully bought into the mysticism of it.
So fun fact about that scene, by the way, is there's no set cue for the music to wind down and stop. It just stops whenever after you hit a certain point. So it can wind down at any point in the song.
Huh.
So it will just fade out at any point when you hit the proper sequence in the conversation.
Gotcha.
Your cooking never fails to impress. Thank you for such a delicious meal. You're welcome. If you like my cooking that much, then I'd be happy to cook for you anytime, Faye. I will bring the equipment you need to the village tomorrow morning myself. It does not exactly make me feel comfortable to have you handle such delicate instruments, I'm afraid. Where have I heard that line before? He at least acknowledges the ironic echo here.
Right.
Well, see you tomorrow, Doc. Good night, Yui, Midori. Good night. We're looking forward to tomorrow's wedding. I feel like naming your kid Midori is just the Japanese equivalent of naming your kid Green Greens.
Yeah, probably.
Well, good night, Doc. Remember the days when nighttime was just a blue filter over everything?
Right.
It still does the job, but you can also tell nowadays that's just a color filter.
Yeah.
I mean, the path is dangerous when it is so dark. What's wrong, Doc? There's nothing to worry about. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Even the compass is affected, which is an interesting touch.
I mean, as you said, it's literally just a blue filter.
Yeah. So, fun fact, there's no random encounters here anymore.
Huh.
Because... What's that?
Look at this Gundam-ass scene.
Yeah.
Already happening.
Yep. They ain't wasting any time getting you in the robot.
Good.
Giants? Faye! Doc, some flying objects went towards Lahan. So you saw them too. Judging by their shadows, they appear to be a group of gears from our neighbor country, Kislev. Those were gears?
Sir, I think you have an invasion on your hands.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh no, they're headed directly for Lahan. The ones I just saw? Let us make haste. Right. Again, no encounters, just fucking book it, man. If you're wondering what they're saying, I think it's a stock sound clip to the effect of total sentence imposed is 10. It's something from like a stock audio clip of something to do with like missile countdowns.
Gotcha.
This is also our boss theme for this game, by the way.
Good to know. I'm literally rotating saves out of habit.
I'm not gonna blame you, honestly. We got plenty of room to work with.
Yeah. It's a whole memory card dedicated to the emulator.
Now this looks familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think one of those NPCs literally just walked through the fire.
Probably.
Alice? Timothy! Dr. Uzuki! Faye! Doctor, they just came out of nowhere and landed right in our village. I know. What on earth are they doing starting a battle here? Are you all okay? Yes, but it's Dan. We can't find him. Look for the forehead! Just look for the reflection coming off his forehead. You'll find him.
He might have flames on it already.
You, Alice, and the rest of the villagers should evacuate to a safer location. Doc, you know I can't just leave Dan behind. Timothy. I understand how you feel, but leave the rest up to Faye and me.
You can hear machine guns going on in the background, too.
Yeah.
Just the occasional...
The primary thing you should be concerned with is your own safety. Also, the occasional thud that might be like people like shuffling on their back foot in the gears.
Yeah.
Timothy, your responsibility is to protect Alice. But it's just as Doc says, the two of you should get out of the village now. Don't worry about Dan. Knowing him, he's already evacuated and is waiting for you. I guess you're right. Okay. Alice, let's let Dr. Uzuki and Faye handle it from here. Yes, okay. Thank you, Doctor. But Faye, please look out for Dan. Yeah, don't worry. If he still happens to be in the village, I'll be sure to save him.
Ooh, that's getting...
Ominous?
intense, suddenly.
Now, both of you, hurry.
I'm wondering if that little explosion series was deliberate there.
Okay, please go around the village and guide the stragglers to a safe location. Alright, but Doc, you be careful, okay? You too, Faye. Huh!
And a cutscene.
I like how it keeps panning up and then slowly goes back down. already alluding to some shit is very not right with Faye, huh?
Yeah.
By the way, this heartbeat noise you're hearing and the one from before, I'm pretty sure they use a very similar uncompressed version in Xenoblade 2 during some specific scenes.
Yep.
Specifically early on when Rex first meets Pyra. So already he's getting in that robot and ready to go.
He's already beaten the record for Shinji.
Like, no joke, whenever I talk about Faye with people who are familiar with Eva but may not have played Xenogears, I literally describe Faye as better Shinji, and you'll see why after this beat in the story. Linguistic modifier enabled. So already there's allusions to different languages. Lamb, Ignis dialect, no piloting experience, easy mode set. Synchronizing input interface with the pilot's normal reflex time. Warning to pilot, combat mode, about to enter combat. 1,200 units of fuel left. Utilize command ring and upper left screen to select attack. Then, triangle, square, and X buttons to commence auto attack sequence.
So about the same.
I'll explain more later.
Okay.
Power and fuel usage differs with type of attack and button. Triangle, 10. Square, 20. X, 30. Charge restores 30 fuel units. Warning, enemy gears are now preparing to attack. Terminating help mode. So combat is slightly different from fighting on foot. Charge is your defend command, but it also restores a tiny bit of fuel.
Gotcha.
You don't do combo strings here, you just do one button press and you do an auto attack sequence. The same rules apply. Triangle is weaker but more accurate. Square is X is the strongest but least accurate.
Right.
Attack level, don't worry about it right now, that will come up later. You can also do ether commands in the gears. You can't do all of a character's spells in a gear, but the ones you can may be slightly modified. Oh, you don't have ether points, so you can't do guided shot.
Whoops!
Yeah, it still runs off your character's mana pool. But it does have a completely different animation for if you use it here versus using it as Faye.
Gotcha. It's probably like just a hand forward shooting thing.
Something like that. There's really no reason not to just jam on X button all the time.
Fair enough.
Because again, these are all, you're not doing combos, you're just doing as much damage as you can in as minimal time as possible. Also, you see here, you have 1,800 hit points while you had 1,800. Now you're down to 1,500.
Yeah, a lot of HP, but they're doing big damage as well.
Yeah, so the scale is slightly different here in mechs versus on foot.
This makes more sense in a realistic manner.
This is very good at having a somewhat grounded mech side without being too overt on it.
Yeah.
Also, you got 2 whole level ups, which means you got a lot of stat ups. Also, because those were mechs with human pilots, you actually got money from that combat.
Yup.
I love the sound effects in this game.
Oh yeah, no, these are like, hell yeah.
This is peak. This is like as much as Gundam as you can get without being just Gundam sound effects.
This is encroaching on a Zone of the Enders level of stuff, which I've considered streaming, but I have to find my PS3. Unless that's on Steam.
I think it is. I'm not sure. I guess there's no choice but to fight. And now we're back to where we were before we flash back. To that whole scene of the village burning.
Yep.
So now you see what that was all about.
Yep. The only flashback so far that has... Flashback with Chrono Fingers that has context now.
Faye, the way you're fighting... Oh, this is not good. If he awakens here... He with quotation marks.
Interesting.
Doc. There's the goblin.
Little goblin over there.
Are you alright? What on earth are you doing here?
Eating candy in a closet.
Do you not know how worried Alice and Timothy are? Fuck, it just took me a minute to get what you were alluding to. Just sitting there eating a whole chocolate orange, looks outside the window. Oh! Oh no!
Oh! Oh! Oh no!
No, I just couldn't bear to think of leaving my sister's wedding dress behind here. You returned to save your sister's wedding dress. To his credit, wedding dresses are very expensive.
Yeah?
Let us evacuate to a safer spot while Faye has their attention. It appears they're after that gear Faye is in. Faye's inside that monster?
You guys wouldn't know. You're just a bunch of country bumpkins.
I mean, Faye literally called them giants like a bewildered hick to like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, so when I originally saw some of this stuff, I thought there was like alien planet bullshit. But I'm sure that'll come up. If that's the case, it'll come up at some point. But like, now that I'm knowing that there's just like, these people just straight up probably have lived in seclusion for years, there's a good chance that they just were never exposed to this. Sort of like how the Amish will some Amish will just come out of nowhere and be like, "My God, that's an iron bird!"
I mean, keep something like that. I think it's more just the fact this is a rural community because the Perfect Works alludes to the fact that there are more civilizations and towns than the ones you actually visit in-game, which feeds into my theory that the towns you visit in any given RPG are not the only towns in the world.
Oh,
they're just
no.
the ones that are important as far as plot and progression are concerned.
Yeah, yeah. Except for like Star Ocean, where there is literally pointless villages.
Oh no. Timothy! So by the way, the demo disc of this game cuts off right before here.
So the moment you use the gear...
So the moment Timothy shows up, the demo disc just ends.
Just fades to black and go, "Thanks for playing. Look forward to the game when it comes out."
No, it literally gives you a next episode sequence.
That's awesome.
These people have nothing to do with you. So by the way, this game doesn't do this often, but sometimes it'll just straight up make cutscenes in the battle engine.
Like it's doing right now.
Yeah, there's no actual fight here. It's just in the battle engine.
That's a sick fucking mech.
The mech designs in this game are amazing. Like, that is one of my... That one is a standout. Stop it! I said stop it!
Hey, back in the day where dash is actually meant elongated
Yeah.
pronunciations.
Yeah, Parasite Eve had the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 The look on my face right now as you're watching this.
If they don't make an HD remake of this, I hope they at least make an anime out of this. Yo.
So yeah, you were saying about the town?
I'm doing too much in the mic there. Things happen. Sometimes you just gotta press the genocide button, and here we go.
Just right. just Wednesday things. Hump day. Would you believe me if I said that is a tone setter for the entirety of the rest of this game?
Yeah, I believe you. That is absolutely a tone setter.
There you go. Like, that whole, like, cozy RPG town feeling you were getting from Lahan, gone.
No, we at war now.
You are just thrown right out of your comfort zone from this point on.
Yup.
Where's Chief Lee? Timothy? Alice? What did I...
You melted them.
Yeah. Timothy got, and then you just straight up melted Alice. None of that childhood friend stuff is happening around here.
Yep, and here's the...
Yep.
You've been banished from the village.
What village is there left for him to be banished from?
It's just a big pile of glass. Oh wait, no, that was dirt. It's just a big pile of smoldering rubble. La la la. Flub.
And what do you mean? Hey, it was because you had to get in that monster. Alice and Timothy, the people of the village are all... You killed everyone using that monster. Huh?
He sounds disappointed.
Why did you have to fight in the middle of the village? How do you even know how to operate such a monster? Mother, where, Mother? See, I told you so. I said allowing someone we knew nothing about into our village would spell disaster. Oh, hurts. It hurts. Dan. Ah! Keep away. I'm scared. Ah! Give me back my sister. Dan? There's nothing to be gained from putting the blame all on Faye alone. What is more, you know Faye had no control over the malfunction of that gear.
Oh, they're calling it a malfunction now, huh?
I know that. But... I hate you!
Yeah, go to your closet and eat your chocolate orange.
You destroyed his closet. What, is he just gonna make a little, like, dirt hut and crawl inside it and then make a little door and eat his chocolate orange in there?
I mean, it's 2020. That's the thing you do in Minecraft.
He does not know what to do with his grief, his anger. This was before the Star Wars prequels.
Oh, dear.
And Faye, it may be a good idea for you to leave this place. There is no guarantee that reinforcements from yesterday's unit are not going to come. They will probably want to know what happened to their comrades. Also, if you stay here, I do not think the atmosphere is going to be very joyful, if you know what I mean. It is probably for the best for both you and all the other villagers here. I guess you're right. This disaster happened because I was here. But what am I supposed to do now? Yes, well, why not go through the Black Moon Forest and head for Av? I'm sure those soldiers yesterday were not from Av. If you can manage to get to the Av side, they will likely not be able to track you down very easily. Okay, I understand, Doc. Well, anyways, please take care of the rest of things here, Doc. Of course. Well, do take care now. So here's the justification for him having any sort of, like, angst about getting in the robot.
Yeah. Last time he did it, people died.
Yep. And, this is even going to solidify it right here. You killed everyone with that monster. Murderer, my sister. Give me back my sister.
But people die when they are killed. You'd think that, like, he would take that with him.
Take what with him?
The gear with them, knowing that, like, that's what they're after.
I'm not going to spoil too much, but that does actually come up a little later.
And just kicked back to the
with Faye looking right over what's left of Lahan.
Yeah.
So fun fact, this place doesn't get repaired. There's no subquest to restore it or anything. It just stays like that for the entirety of the game.
Definitely not a Colony 6 situation.
Yeah. There's a specific entrance. It's further up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, there
That said, I was going to say you might want to stay on the world map a little bit because enemies do drop armor upgrades.
Oh, shit. Well, let's turn that around for a second.
Yep. There's specific enemies here that drop better armor than what you have right now.
I'm gonna drop that blind playthrough tag because it's kind of not blind. So, no spoilers. There we go.
I mean, half blind, technically.
Well, we're just gonna do no spoilers. Because this is not a very blind.
Yeah, because you have me here as, like, your little fucking, like... Again, I am here as lore master.
Right.
Like, this is my favorite... Oh! Hello, you got lucky. By the way, some of the monster designs in this game are a little out there.
Yeah. Did he just...
He flicked you with his big toe.
Okay, yeah. Oh.
So there's your full 4-hit combo string.
Yep.
First try.
Nice.
Fencing wear, that's a new chess piece. The other one, I believe, is a fencing hat, which is the exact same defense as your stamina ring.
Okay.
So you can just skip out on that. Like, that's literally all you needed here.
I am gonna do one more combat round there.
Also, because you have 4 attack points now, you can finally learn your first death blow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do right quick.
Just a word of advice, this game does prevent you from just repeatedly spamming the same combo over and over for progress, so you have to keep alternating.
So I'm assuming that's...
So you can't do that same combo twice, or else it won't count as progress.
Okay, so...
And there's your full square combo.
Yep. It's another fencing wear.
I mean, that'll be useful in case you get your next party member.
So you can absolutely not have that party member suddenly.
No, I mean, when you might get another party member coming up soon.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, old school random encounter rules.
Where they just happen suddenly with no warning.
There is technically a warning, it's just in the worst possible way. When the game is loading in a combat transition, you can no longer jump. This can happen in the middle of platforming sections.
Oh god, old school games.
So this is an armor grub. These guys are great for death blow grinding because they have insanely high defense.
Yeah, no shit. Like, I could do this every other hit, right? Like, that's perfectly okay?
Yeah, every other combo I think is just fine.
Okay, so I'm just going to alternate between the 2 buttons in order.
Less HP than I was expecting, but... Oh yeah, and there's your experience scaling right here.
Yeah?
Bizfruit, that is a unique item that only certain enemies drop. It restores 10 ether points. Your cap is 99, just like MP and Chrono Trigger, so
right.
That's a pretty healthy chunk.
Okay.
That's basically 10%. So welcome to Black Moon Forest, the first actual dungeon, and it's a big one.
It's a big one.
There's not... The actual path you have to go is kind of linear. There's not too many exits out of here, but there's still a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Like, these are some big, dense trees here.
Some redwoods. I see
Yeah.
some items on there. How do I get to that?
Go back. There should be some, like, rocks or mushrooms or something you can jump up.
Yeah, I'm checking the parameter.
Another armor grub.
So how do I know when I get a death blow?
It'll just straight up give you a message.
I'd be like, you just learned how to do this.
Yep, it basically tells you you've learned the Hadouken.
You learned the way of the Dark Hadouken.
Faye can now finally Dragon Punch. He now has an option select.
Right.
I actually remember talking with a certain mutual friend of ours who also loves this game and talking about the idea of, like, if they did remake this game, Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat system would not be entirely out of place for like, taking this same combat system and reworking it to work there.
No, I feel like that would work really well here. Or give it, like, a beat 'em up thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the...
I know... Fuck.
Hold up.
Ooh,
Look at that sprite clipping.
Yeah, there's a little... Oh, there it is, over there. See? Just to your left a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that object was.
Yep, so you can get you some elevation. You can hold down circle as you jump, and you'll still get the extra momentum as if you were running.
So it's a linear momentum.
Something like that.
And I see what you mean about the no jump thing. It just kind of told me to fuck myself.
Yeah. There's a particular dungeon that is infamous for that later on. It's about midway through the first disc.
Good to know.
That's one of the little things I appreciate now that I know more about, like, how games are made, is the fact that even this little enemy has some slightly unique and fairly well done animations to some of his attacks.
Oh, yeah, no. And the fact
Like the
that,
tail wiggle when he shoots the spines at you.
Yeah, the fact that he also just kind of... There's just... Yeah.
There you go.
That's the death blow?
Yep, that is it. That is Raijin.
Okay.
Green text is death blows. Yellow text is ether.
Gotcha.
So,
slow.
a lot of the different... Each character's death blows sometimes have a certain theme naming to it. Faye is one of two characters whose death blows are all given Japanese names.
Ooh.
Or at least I assume they're Japanese. They might be Chinese.
No, Raijin's definitely... It could be a mix.
It could be, because, again, he's based off of a mythical Chinese hero, and he's even designed to distinctly look Chinese.
Oh, here's another split area.
Yeah. Literally Power Wave.
Just Buster Wolfed him.
Yeah, I know. He just straight up Terry Bogarted him.
I could just use that all I want.
Power Wave!
Are you okay?
Yeah, you don't get your next death blows until you get 5 AP, which is going to be for a few levels, so...
Yeah.
If you just want to be lazy about it, I won't blame you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be very generous with the death blows. Probably only use it with...
Once you
more-
learn all of them, though, there's no reason to use the normal combo strings ever again.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't even cost EP, does it?
No. It's just completely free as long as you're a high enough level to know it.
That is awesome. Okay.
Like, AP is actually for something else. It's for combos, which basically lets you use all the death blows you currently know in one big go, depending on how much AP you have.
Look at this tutorial mob.
Yeah.
Telling you that you can just hop that.
Yep. You can also just leave him be if you want.
I mean, I already tried to engage him.
I think you actually passed by him, so you screwed with his detection on like where you are. But it's no biggie.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll encounter plenty more animes. I'm not gonna Trials of Mana and just start, you know, running after a while.
Yeah.
God,
Not to mention, this is an old game, so there's some difficulty spikes, so it's really for the best if you just take every fight you get.
See, what sucks is when we're done streaming, I'm gonna want to continue to play this game. I might make a separate save on card 2 and play on my own time.
Like we can just keep going for a little bit longer than usual, and we can just do like off cam. And there's some moments where we might want to do some off camera grinding anyway, so that might be best for that sort of thing.
Okay. But you're definitely gonna hopefully hint me in on that, because I would love to not.
Yeah. I absolutely am.
I might upload this to YouTube, just because Twitch lets me do it.
Yeah. But
good freaking god, I am
like
I adore this game already.
You're just right in.
I'm retconning my childhood. To quote Wooly, I am retconning my childhood.
All right, so you have to fight this guy to get that boulder.
Oh, so I just hit X to
yeah.
engage him. Okay.
Yeah. This game wants you to actually interact. You can't just walk up and get it free.
Fair enough.
So despite these guys having the same sprites and everything, they are slightly stronger than the ones you've been encountering at the beginning.
Never mind the death blows and you're just doing this. Oh,
Yeah, no.
God, see, we need...
There's the HP percentage attack I mentioned, and I think
Okay.
it boosts his maximum as well.
I was about to say, did he just get more HP out of that? I'm about to put him down.
Chonky Lad about to go on a diet.
Right?
You might want to heal after this, by the way, because you're
Yes, I see
down
that.
just enough. No. Wait till after you're finished, because this guy's gonna go down anyway. By the way, once we get out of the battle transition screen, run.
Oh god, so we're legitimately about to Chris Redfield this. My hands are
Run.
on the button.
All right, now wait here for a bit so you can see. Yep.
Da 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 da. Spook the hell out of them birds.
That boulder actually does do damage if it hits you. It does 8 HP of damage.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get some healing in there before the next encounter. Okay, so does that do anything to the environment, or is that just there now?
It's just there for the rest of the game. It doesn't hurt you or anything, but it's just there as a reminder.
Okay. Reminder.
That's where you entered from.
Is it? Are you fucking serious? Oh my god.
You got turned around.
Yes, I did. Okay.
So let's go back, because there is something past that zone now that we've cleared the way. Something very important that we're going to want to see.
I could definitely tell that the noise, the whoo ah, is definitely a developer just making that noise.
That or it's just stock animal sounds they found on, like, the old-ass internet.
Probably.
So let's see how much Raijin does with all his armor.
Buster! Oh my god, so it's still... So I now see what you mean about this guy is really good to grind
Yeah.
death blows off of.
Yeah, because it's only 1 damage per hit.
Okay. So it's best to just slam the triangle buttons on this sucker.
Yeah.
Maximum accuracy, maximum damage on an already fixed 1 damage.
Yeah, you're seeing it.
Yeah. I'm starting to get that old school RPG mindset back.
Yeah, you're getting in there where you just, like, have that whole afternoon after school, you got nothing better to do, you boot this up for 2 hours to just run in circles, beating up enemies. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. God.
Like,
I'm being completely unironic about this. I am retconning my childhood. This shit is now my childhood.
Like, this was one of the first games I ever played along with Final Fantasy VII, so you see how it just stuck with me for so long.
Yeah, see, I played a little bit of 7, but it was like after the part that I was handed to was just after you leave Midgar.
Yeah.
So I probably missed like the meat and potatoes of the game itself.
A little bit. You missed a lot of that initial setup.
So that probably one of the bigger reasons why it didn't resonate with me after for so long. It still kind of doesn't, but I'm just waiting for the remake to at least have 2 or 3 chapters in
Yeah.
before I go full in. Which I mean, if this shit takes off, I'm definitely gonna stream that.
Yeah. And
It's gonna enrage in you ass. Buster. Also, I absolutely plan on getting a fight stick. I've been meaning to get one for a while. All right,
Yeah.
you sir.
yeah, I think
You
it
need to see your way out.
get gone.
Sir, this is a Wendy's drive-thru. We don't appreciate that here.
Wubba wubba, I'm in the pink tonight.
Goddamn. So death blows are literally just
They are free.
free techniques.
They are free damage.
God. Have you played Lisa?
A little bit, yeah. It was way back.
So
Brad is sort of the same way, isn't he?
yes. As long as you know the button combos, you can do that for free. Like this reminds me of a lot of what Lisa did, which something tells me Austin Creed or whatever, or not Austin.
So let's see how much guided shot does, just for reference.
Oh, guy, you know, something tells me this dude's got a. Did he just stun out? Oh, not Austin Creed, but you know the creator of
Yeah.
Lisa. he probably played this and wanted that in, like, or this in that.
I wouldn't be surprised because there are a few RPGs out there that do something similar yet.
Holy shit!
Yeah. That's what happens when you min-max your defense stats.
You lose all that MDef.
And he has a high chance of dropping Bizfruit, so you basically get that off for free.
Just free real estate.
Yeah.
It's free real estate. Just gonna save out the same file.
Yeah. Alright, so we want to go back to the right where we were.
So, to the right,
like
east,
back
north?
to northwest.
Okay, so literally the direction I was pointing.
Just basically back to where we were before you got turned around.
Before the rock flipped me upside down.
Before the rocks...
Oh, I was hoping I could do that. Alright.
Are you serious right now?
Look.
We're going to be level 20 before you get out of this one room.
You know, that wouldn't be the first time I've had that happen in an RPG. Where at the first dungeon, I'm just so overleveled that the rest of the game just right by.
Oh, now we're getting spicy. We got 2 of them.
Oh, but now I know their secret. And I'm not really.
Bow.
Oh, look, he did 2. God, that's
a lot.
That is Trials of Mana as fuck.
For what it's worth, this is like roughly one of the few points where it's worth using Phase Ether over his melee attacks. After this, it's like no contest. You definitely want to have him punching more often than not.
Ooh, camera.
Yeah. Sometimes the camera's a little funny like that.
That's why I'm glad That's why I'm glad it's a digital and not analog control.
Alright, so just keep following the path here and go on that log.
And get an encounter. Don't forget that step.
You can just fucking run if you want.
Nah, man, we don't run here.
I like how when they dodge, they just deflate themselves.
It's like.
I think according to the Perfect Works, these are like plantoid enemies.
Probably. Also, sir, you need to stop.
Like, that is actually something that I love about this game, is the Perfect Works actually has very minor scientific categorization for a bunch of the random enemies that show up. Like how they fit into like the ecosystem and some brief details on their origins. Stuff you would normally see in a modern game's bestiary.
Yeah, it's like Metroid Prime, where you literally are just scanning stuff and it contributes nothing. Okay, understandable.
Yeah, I would have loved for him to join in on this.
Probably could have got him on voice too.
Anyways, you're getting a little low, so you may as well heal up again real quick.
Yeah, we got plenty of goddamn healing items.
Yep.
Especially that hop jerky.
Yeah, the only downside to hop jerky is you cannot use it in battle.
I mean, I should be using that to begin with instead of my Aqua Souls.
Well, here's the thing. There's a vendor you can sell it from for a bunch of money.
Okay.
Alright, so once we get past here... Here's our female lead. And she looks completely different from everyone else we've seen so far.
Throw down your weapon. Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
I like how they kept the accent a little bit in there.
Just a little bit. Although, to be fair, I think her voice actress is actually initially from England.
Oh god. Doesn't she show up in Xenosaga as well?
Yes and no. There's
like,
a character explicitly based off of her in Xenosaga.
Because I like recognize her design with that frame there.
Yeah, no. It's meant as a reference to her in Xenosaga.
Gotcha.
Are you shaking?
You're shaking. You're not meant for the battlefield. Is this your first time holding a gun?
Be quiet.
This is literally that moment. Just that Snake turning around, looking at Meryl and going, "You've never held a gun before, haven't you?"
Yeah, more or less. I have orders to kill all surface dwellers' lambs I come in contact with. So fun fact about those dashes right there. So the original... You can keep going, by the way. Yeah, the original game had a system where it used... I believe it's called hiragana, which is like alternate readings. But the way it did it is it would basically have the character say the term in hiragana and have the other term in like brackets. But either that didn't get picked up by the translator or they decided to do it differently. So basically, they say the original term and the hiragana term that's meant to be the alternate reading is rendered in those two dashes on the side.
Okay.
So she's meant to be calling him a lamb, and it's showing that lamb means surface dweller.
Right. It's a good use of what we have.
Yeah. The way they did figure out a better system starting with Xenosaga where they have the alternate reading term on top and slightly smaller subtitles.
Okay.
By the way, Faye's just like, if you're gonna shoot me, just fucking shoot me.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose at this point.
Basically, which is kind of shocking for, like, how soon into the game we are. He's already just like, I'm done. You can't really blame him, though.
Yeah, no, dude's been through some shit already.
Severe retrograde amnesia, followed by losing the only home he knew for, like, the past 3 years.
Yeah. Now it's just like, I'm back on the road again. You know what? No, here, hand me your gun. I'll do it for you.
Stay back. What are you aiming at? Here. Shoot me here. Come on.
Stop trying to shoot me and shoot me.
Are you mocking me?
Yes.
You're weird. Something's very wrong with you. You should at least resist a little bit.
This was clearly something she had it planned in her head. Is that UQ? How did he already know? Okay, you know what? I'll get that answer here in a bit.
Who knows? So by the way, these guys, forest elves.
Okay.
The enemies in this game are a bit wild. My
scrotums. Yeah, no. This is...
Are you alright? Hang in there.
The how you okay joke is definitely...
Yeah, alright. Let's see. Slightly different transition. That is not bad sound for fire, but usually when you hear that, that implies that you're working with some incredibly wet wood. Yeah. You finally woke up. You didn't move for so long that I started to worry. How are you feeling? Do you still intend to kill me? Then go right ahead and shoot me. But you better not do it while we're in this forest. Forest monsters hate loud noises, you know. Fine, don't talk to me if you don't want to.
You just let me, Dory. You're just a mute.
But it wouldn't kill you to thank me for tending your wounds. Thanks. But you shouldn't have helped me. Don't think it'll save your life, though. It really doesn't change a thing. What are you so afraid of? I'm not afraid. I'm just being cautious. It's natural for me to be this cautious, considering I've met such a suspicious surface-dwelling lamb. Don't you worry. I'm not going to do anything. Besides, you're much more suspicious than I am. Huh? So what's your name? I won't give my name to a surface dweller lamb. Surface-dwelling lamb. What's with you and this lamb thing? We're both lost in this forest, surrounded by dangerous monsters. Shouldn't we at least be cooperating with each other until we get out of here? Good. So, what's your name? It's gonna be hard for us to cooperate with one another without at least knowing each other's names. Anyway, my name is Fei Fong Long. You can call me Fei. I'm Elheim, but my parents call me Ellie.
So, he didn't name
Go
drop...
ahead.
He...
Ellie, huh? Somehow I already knew that. Huh? Anyway, it's too dangerous to travel in these parts this late at night. Let's wait until daybreak before we continue for a way out of here. If that's okay with you. I guess we have no choice, do we? Okay then, Ellie? How about having something to eat? I've got like 20 sticks of jerky in my pocket. I punched these things so hard they exploded into them. I don't know what to do. If you're into meat at all, I got plenty.
I got like 40 things of hot jerky. I hope you're hungry, because they all going in your mouth. This weird flashback.
Not flashback. This is entirely symbolism right here. Like, this is basically a dream Faye's having.
Okay.
Wait! Hey! Don't leave me here! Wait!
Yeah, for a bunch of motherfuckers walking, they sure shit got the fuck out.
So, I'm gonna point out something here in a little bit.
It's that necklace.
You must be lonely here by yourself.
So, in the Japanese version, wait for it.
Faye. Faye.
In the Japanese version, that's actually meant to be a child's voice before it transitions into what's supposed to be Ellie as a young adult.
Right.
But they didn't get the context when they dubbed over it, so it just sounds like her as an adult the whole time.
Fair enough.
Are you
Kind
awake?
of spoilers things a little bit, you know? Oh, and...
So, press square?
I have 2 people.
Yes, you do. Ellie is now our second party member.
Good lord, did I grind that hard?
Actually, no. This game uses, this game does something similar to Final Fantasy VII, where there is scaling on what level characters are when they join you. Ellie will always be a couple levels behind Faye.
Okay.
And just to compare stats. So Faye has like double her HP, but she's got way more ether power than he does.
Yeah, she seems to be a caster type.
She is literally your black mage.
Because I'm like seeing her stats. And...
Yes. She doesn't have particularly bad attack power, but she is also one of our few characters who relies on a weapon.
Okay.
It's called a rod, but it's more like a telescopic rapier.
Gotcha.
She also has her own unique equipment: pilot uniform, ether stone, and anti-ether stone. That's basically unique chest piece only she has, magic attack up, magic defense up.
Interesting. Okay. Let's check her abilities. Yep, that definitely confirms the black mage thing.
Yep, there's only 4 elements in this game: fire, water, earth, and wind. Although wind is technically treated as both wind and electricity, and water is treated as both water and ice.
Okay. So, if I remember correctly, north was about...
You're in a completely different zone.
Oh, shit.
But if you go find a certain passageway back, you can go back to where you were before.
Path up, watch the cliffs. Yup.
Yep. It definitely helps that there's signposts here. Lahan Village, beware of landslides. So that way is back to where you were, and the other way is progress.
Gotcha.
There's also areas you can jump to around here. Turn the camera and look to the west, going by the compass. Well, not there, but there's cliffs over there. You follow those hobgobs over there?
Yeah.
They jump over. There's a chest over there.
Yeah. I'm just
That's
scared.
progress, where that save point is.
Yeah, I see it.
Alright. You can click on it to fight. So, interesting detail I actually didn't know until about a couple of years ago when I read a screenshot LP on this. When it's Ellie's turn, use her fire magic on one of these things.
So that's Thermo Cube. Oh shit, that's a unique sprite.
Yeah. So another thing you'll notice about Ellie is she is very slow compared to Faye.
Yeah, she's got some
Yeah.
timer issues.
Even 1 or 2 points of speed can make a big difference in this game. So, once again, Thermocube. Alright, and you'll see what I meant in the results screen when we get to after this. Hob Stake. If you use fire magic to kill hob enemies, they will always drop Hob Stake.
That's like, was it 8 or 9 where you use specific magic and you get a completely different item from Kyurls?
I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was 8 because it's required for a weapon. For one of Squall's weapons.
But yeah, Hopstake restores 500 HP, and remember, the cap is 999.
Yo.
But even better, like I said, there's vendors later in the game that will buy monster items off you for a premium, meaning that you can sell those for a juicy profit later on.
Yeah, no shit.
You also got an arcane rod, so you might want to open the menu, because that is a new weapon for Ellie already. Minor pet peeve of mine, how she literally just joined us within the first 10 minutes. We already have a weapon upgrade. But I'm not complaining.
Yeah, because that's just kind of like, you don't get a whole lot of anything out of that weapon.
Yeah.
That weapon still has the fucking price tag on it.
Yeah, basically. By the way, is the martial wear, is the second fencing wear you got better than her pilot uniform? I can't remember.
You know, there's one way to find out.
There is.
It'd be hilarious if it was. Stop it.
Nope, that's Faye. Fencing wear?
No.
It's actually slightly better. Okay.
Okay, well, she's already good to go then.
Alright, fair enough.
Alright, so that jump's gonna be... Right? Okay.
It's really not as bad as it looks.
You heard that button. You heard that button press. You heard that button press. Play back the footage. For the one person still watching, play back the footage.
The other person left because they were too disgusted by your absolute jawning here.
Pretty much.
So, just in case it was ever a question, Faye is obviously not the only character who can learn death blows. Ellie can too.
I saw her listing for that, and I was like, oh, she's got something going, so I'm going to...
The only problem is she's too low level to have enough AP for it, but you can still train her up.
Yeah, I know, it's...
And like I said, her normal attack isn't bad despite what you think of a black mage character. The trade-off is just that she relies on weapon upgrades, and her accuracy is honestly kind of terrible.
Yeah, I mean... Sir, I'm gonna have to burn you.
All you did was add extra marbling.
Yeah. I prefer my steaks a little bit fatty.
Like, that's still a detail I did not expect them to go to, but they did anyway.
Yeah, no. That's like something you probably would just do on accident and go, huh, that's weird.
Yeah, no kidding.
I like that it doesn't spin the item when I...
Yeah. Like, that's something you would hope games had already gotten to by now.
Okay, I think at this point I can just kind of slide off.
Yeah. So, chest there is... Survival tent, which is just what you'd expect from, like, a tent in an RPG of this era.
Yeah, it's a tent.
Yeah, it's a full restore at any save point around the world map.
which is completely unnecessary. So it'd be funnier if that was a hard drive noise where it just goes grrr, grrr, grrr.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them considering the motif they've got for a lot of this game's UI. This is a fixed encounter, by the way.
So this has to happen.
Yes.
Okay. What?
So this is meant, I'm guessing this is meant to be a way to encourage you to play around with Ellie's magic, because those birds will not come down until after you kill both elves. But you can hit them with Ellie's magic preemptively.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna hit him with the lightning. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, just fucking call down a bolt from the blue and just punish Faye with the divine wrath of God. What's the heck? Just that bird's just sitting there.
Oh god! That bird shit the floor. And now it's an active enemy. So I'm gonna cook it.
I was gonna say, you want to see one of the other two spells, but I guess not.
No, I'm gonna cook this bitch.
Oh, Spurb.
She leveled up. She get any more?
All she got was attack, ether, and HP.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember, like I said, it's not about how much a stat goes up except for HP. It's about how many you get up in one level.
Yeah, that was not a lie.
Yeah. Because every character has different biases to stat gains when they level up, just like Fire Emblem.
Right.
Why are you asking? Why? Yesterday you looked like you had a death wish. I literally... Was it the part where I asked you to shoot me that gave it away? You think it wouldn't make me wonder? How'd you get stranded in this forest in the first place?
Oh, I was just lost, and, you know...
Out for a morning constitutional, you know, it happens. You just go into the woods to roundhouse kick a few giant armored beetles.
I was looking for a waterfall to train under, but it seems this forest is all out of waterfalls. What about you?
Which Gundam series did you wander off from? Unicorn or...
It's all Unicorn or Blue Destiny. Still help me God you came from Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Either that or Seed.
Oh, I mean, that was Blue Destiny. Yeah.
Village? You don't mean... Lahan. It was a small village that existed between this forest and the mountain range. I ran away from there.
Something tells me the fact that this forest is not exactly a safe place to be is the whole reason why nobody's left the place.
Possibly. I mean, it's a pretty remote village.
Yeah.
It was a nice, peaceful village. Everyone there treated me like family. Then last night, a group of gears suddenly appeared and started fighting right in the middle of the place. The village was engulfed in flames. I couldn't just stand there and watch Lahan be destroyed. So to try and save the villagers, I got in an empty gear, without even knowing how to operate it. I just thought maybe I could do it. No, it was more like someone was whispering to me.
Zero is inside my head.
Someone whispering to me, telling me to do it. But it was a disaster. The village...
That definitely can work.
Was it destroyed by the Kislev army? Faye? No, the village was destroyed by me. Yes,
What?
It was me. I destroyed Lahan, I'm sure of it. What do you mean you destroyed it? I thought you were trying to help save the villagers. I did try to help. I actually took out a few gears. But then I came under heavy fire from a new group of gears. And then my friend Timothy was hit by a hail of bullets. Then I lost it. Everything just went dark. I don't remember anything after that. The gear I was in went out of control. That's what Doc said. When I came to, the village, everyone in it was Alice, she was such a... Alice and Timothy, oh God. Everybody. All such good people. Went out of control, the gear... Oh, what about the village? Faye.
It's empty.
Yes, the gear. Huh? Oh, wow, it went right in. He was supposed to say if they had never come to the village, nothing would have happened. And now, we've entered off territory. I'm not giving up now. This gear's too important. I've just done it. I'm at a disadvantage now. Van Houten, what's wrong? Respond. Shrapnel in my back. See over there?
Oh, yeah.
What? Damn it, everyone land now. Regroup on the ground. We'll have to engage them. So, remember that group of gears you saw doing a flyover?
That was them. There goes the crops.
So much for that old man's pumpkins.
Right?
Just standing right there.
Fuck the seeds, I'ma bury 'em more.
So because Ellie had to make that emergency landing when they were being pursued, that's why they started fighting in the middle of Lahan.
Yeah, she's kind of responsible for that.
If they'd never come to the village, never started fighting there,
Yeah, is that dialogue you're talking about?
then I wouldn't have tried to pilot that gear. It's all their fault, not mine. They're the ones to blame. If they'd never come, none of this would have... Not for them. Them. So you're noticing something about Faye here that does come up infrequently. He seems a little emotional, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little unstable.
A little bit of a... might even say a man-child. Like, unironically. Like, remember, this guy has amnesia, so this is the first time he's had to deal with something like this.
Right. In this consciousness, yes.
And now Ellie is just, like, deliberately trying to push blame back onto him. Because she's just, like, she doesn't know how to deal with this, seeing a victim right in front of her, so she's just like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this.
No. That sort of situation.
Exactly. She's even low-key snitching on herself. But all Kislev wanted was the gear, right? They weren't invading or out to destroy Lahan.
She's probably gonna be like, if you just gave him the gear.
The real damage occurred because you climbed in a gear and tried to fight back. Yep, there you go.
God fucking damn. Look at these two not likable people at the moment.
Like these two clearly very insecure people who are who don't know how to deal with it. Where it's like it's fucked up, but it's like you know they're going somewhere with this.
Yeah, they're just kind of like it's two people going, no, you're at fault. No, you're at fault. I did this. Harry's did this.
Yep, no way a civilian could hope to pilot one, and he just jumped in. I mean, that one was pretty beginner-friendly.
I mean, it seemed that way.
You should have been helping the villagers flee to safety instead.
Yeah, fuck you.
How can you blame the damage on a gear when it was your decision to fight in it in the first place? Why don't you take some of the responsibility yourself? Why are you putting all the blame on others? That's just running away. That's what makes you a coward.
Hark, Potts.
I am a coward. I didn't realize my own strength and have been blaming what happened as a result of that on others. I'm a pitiful excuse for a man, but I just felt this rush of blood in me and I couldn't help myself. Couldn't help myself or others. And at this exact moment, she realized she fucked up.
Yeah. Because it's just like, yeah, let me just push the blame onto you.
Shut up. What do you know? Surrounded by piles of rubble. I didn't know what had happened or what I had done. I remembered absolutely nothing. All I knew was that my hands could still feel what they had done. Oh, here we go. Here we go with that stuff only a Japanese writer would do.
Oh, yeah.
The only things that penetrated the Gears barrier was screams. Screams accompanied by the stench of blood, the sound of crushing bones, and my own curses. Yep, this is like MGS2, they killed my soul.
Yeah.
Look at my hands. Can you understand this feeling?
God, this is so fucking Japanese!
It is.
Oh my god.
It doesn't get too much worse from here. It gets a little better, but this is clearly like that modus operandi of writing.
Yeah, no, this is this was a very Japanese wrote situation here.
Not being able to do anything for the children left behind.
I must Mamoru.
I have nowhere, no one.
Quick, we must go back and get the robot and power it with the power of friendship. That'll be the strongest fuel in the world. That'll stop me from murdering more people.
I will say, in case that is a genuine worry, that never comes up.
No, I know. This game started by exceeding expectations. This is just like, it's the game reminding you that it's still Japanese.
It's clearly setting some stuff up with these characters and letting you know they're dealing with some stuff.
They're going through some shit. It's the way that it's being wrote. It's like you can look past this for just a little bit longer, right?
Like these are clearly two very insecure, not wholly together people.
No,
and that's very deliberate.
This is coping with loss, and each one of them are on two separate stages.
And they're both doing it in a very clearly unhealthy way.
Yeah, they need therapy.
And Ellie is just like, I have no clue what to do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take 5. I'm gonna get a smart
I'm just
break.
gonna Audi 5000.
She's just gonna go out there. Actually, no, considering she'd probably vape, honestly, looking at her with that sci-fi-esque uniform. She would just go right from cigarettes to vaping.
It's time for me to chase some clouds to cope with the stress.
As if it's not your responsibility.
Wow, I forgot how bad the lip sync was in English.
They died because you had to pilot the gear and start fighting. It wasn't.
It's like a full second. Also, wow, that Dutch angle. Now's a good time to mention this game got a D rating in Japan.
Yeah, no, understandably.
Not just anyone can pilot those machines, you know.
I didn't do it.
Why won't you take responsibility?
Yeah, I kind of mentally place the fact that like we're only hearing.
Why are you trying to put the blame on others?
I'm not even all that talented.
Like, this is her genuinely realizing, yeah, what I just said can easily be put back onto me.
That's right. I'm a coward.
So even she is, like, not blind to the fact that, yeah, what I did was just irony of ironies.
She's dying on that hill at this point.
And she's regretting it.
Yeah. She dug up that hill and now she's just like, I'm just gonna die on that bitch.
And then immediately she's like, oh no. By the way.
And then Chris Pratt comes out of the corner. I'm not gonna lie, that's a good design.
Yeah, no.
That's a boss.
That is very much a boss. Guess what you're gonna have to do?
Call in a gear? Punch the shit out of it, probably.
Let's see.
Or we're just gonna kung fu fight it. Oh. It's just like snacks.
Yep. Even drooling. They actually took the time to draw textures for drool on its mouth. That's
Oh, no,
not...
no, that's some love and care right there.
Are you alright? She's unconscious.
Yep.
By the way, time to punch a goddamn dinosaur.
We're gonna ride you in this bitch.
You actually knock it down, too. Rancor Dragon. So yeah, this is technically a dragon, but it's basically a T-Rex.
It's a fucking T-Rex.
It's a fucking T-Rex.
Dragons are just what people called dinosaurs before, you know. Ooh.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Its attacks are very inaccurate but powerful. It did 13 damage, but the red letters mean that you either took partial damage or blocked it.
Yeah.
Red letters, red numbers.
It also seems to have missed turns.
Yep, it just wastes its turns because
Something tells me that may not be a wasted turn in just the animation, counting that as a stun.
well, it's also the fact that this is not the real fight.
Oh, of course not.
Hey!
Helicopter!
Dr. Uzuki out of fucking nowhere.
Oh my god, he actually brought the damn gear.
Yep, he did. Faye, I've been searching for you. Here, you can use this. Here, use this. Not a rocket launcher, but it'll do.
You know, I think I would take this over a rocket launcher any day.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's getting ready to take its prize.
Bored now. Damn
Big
it.
metal object landed next to it. Tired of this bitch.
Doc, I have a favor to ask. I will defeat this monster. But if it looks like I'll go out of control like last time, then shoot me.
That's sound logic. Sound logic.
Yep. Faye, let us pray that won't happen. Specifically saying pray, playing into what you said before about him being a little superstitious.
Yeah.
And so here is our second boss fight. Fei Fong Wong and a giant robot punching out a goddamn giant dragon to save the pretty redhead.
Kamehameha.
If this doesn't sell you on the game, I don't know what will.
You know, I was sold on the game from the beginning, but this Kamehameha I just did, doing 0 fucking damage. Are you actually shitting me right now?
Like I said, Fei is much better suited as a punch boy.
No shit.
So yeah, gears are also subject to status effects, so you now have slow active.
Makes it really hard to see that bar.
Yeah, it
Sure,
changes
that
it to
looks-
more of a dark, blackish green.
Sure,
That
that looks
said,
lovely on the stream.
Push left or right on the D-pad once. Again? No.
I'm doing a quick charge.
Yep, that's also your defend command, so
Did no damage. Or very little damage.
it did 31. So move over. Alright. Booster.
Booster.
This gives you haste, but it makes you slowly hemorrhage fuel.
Gotcha.
So that slow effect is now completely canceled out.
But it's also now...
Yeah. So you see that you now have attack level 1. Press triangle. You now have gear death blows because Fei learned some. So because you have Raijin, you can now do Raigeki. But you have to build it up by executing normal auto attacks.
Gotcha.
So that's how there's a bit of interplay between on-foot combat and gear combat.
Okay, that's neat.
Alright, canceled out your haste, but I think that also means you stop losing fuel per turn. So basically the goal is to just do cross auto combo and then do death blow. Like, this is basically just a slap fight, like most RPGs of this era, not gonna front.
I mean...
Like, they're fun, but they didn't necessarily have a lot going on for strategy back in the day.
No, yeah. But... It's still... We're gonna build that up. Okay.
Fun oversight. He falls right on top of Ellie.
Yeah...
Like, that doesn't affect anything. That's just amusing.
I think you gained 1 level out of that.
Yep. So, 3 HP. And you got scales. I don't believe it always drops those, so...
You know? You saying that means that there's more than one of these things.
Yeah, I guess so. That fight with the Rancor was remarkable. An ordinary gear could not defeat that monster, and you can certainly keep yourself in good shape. So fair warning, there's going to be a lot of text between this and when we next get,
Control again.
yeah,
Okay.
which is not uncommon for this game, in case you haven't realized.
Hence the visual novel tag on this game.
Well, Tall, this is the gear that destroyed our village.
So he knew the name of the gear.
Apparently he did. He's been poking around, so apparently he might have come across it.
Maybe, maybe.
I understand how you must feel. But in order to protect yourself, you need a certain degree of strength. Even more since we're being pursued. I agree that a certain degree of strength is needed for self-defense. And if it weren't for this gear here, Ellie and I'd be in that ranker's stomach right now.
See, this game's making me wish that Xenoblade X got a re-release on the Switch and a actual finishing. Because Xenoblade X and this game have a lot of similarities at its core.
They got the same artist back. Kunihiko Tanaka, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
He also did the designs for Finch and Cosmos in Xenoblade 2.
Yeah, and I'm like, again, like Monolith, I wish I could just sit there and say that I have the influence, but I would love to see them revisit this and Xenoblade X all over again.
Yeah.
But them doing Xenoblade Chronicles for definitive means that they're probably gonna roll their way into that.
Hopefully, because
it's the last good game on Wii or Wii U that didn't make it across.
But power goes beyond what's necessary. Does one really need the power to destroy everything? I don't need that kind of power. I just hate gears.
Something tells me that power has nothing to do with the gears.
Virgil has entered chat.
Right. I need power.
Using power or being used by power, is that not a problem of the heart? If humans do not use their power for wrong, it can be a good thing. I believe such power can help us. In that respect, I know you will be fine. It sure helped you out this time.
You know, as this goes onward, I feel like, you know, I should have said this earlier, but he definitely knows something going on here that not everybody in the scene here and us as a player in this, well, except for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know everything.
He knows something that we don't, or that I don't as the player and the character.
Like, he gives the impression he is someone who might have read the scripts beforehand.
Yeah, like, he got the footnotes before anybody else got the footnotes.
He got onto sparknotes.com before this. At least Ellie is safe now. Yep, she's perfectly fine. Never mind that a giant, like, 5-ton dinosaur just fell over on him.
Right.
Oh, she seems to have come to. Boop!
Just like...
Yep, no getting up animation frames, just...
Good old 1998!
I am Shitan, a friend of Faye's. You almost did not make it. If Faye had not helped you, I hate to think what may have happened. But I was not too pleased with his rashness in trying to take on that Rancor with just his bare fists.
I mean, he was doing a good job.
Yeah, doing like 13 damage a hit. I think that damage also carries over when it transitions to phase 2, so good on you there.
Right.
And Ellie's just like, oh, crap
Oh
baskets.
no, this thing is following me now.
It ain't following you, but it sure seems to be following Faye.
Right.
Oh. Better hope Faye doesn't find out that has the soul of his mom in it or something, or that's gonna make things real awkward.
Hint, hint, huh?
No, just a complete joke.
Okay. Oh yeah, because
Eva, yeah. Yeah, you almost just got vored by a giant bad dragon. We may as well just take a breather here, man.
Right. And he knows a little too much about this thing, like, outright.
He sure seems to dabble in technology that seems unknown to people beyond a certain point in the world, huh?
Yeah.
The actuator can be fixed, but the circuit needs to be replaced.
Drop this back a little bit so I can get some air on my back.
I like how Faye doesn't even have like a cot or a mattress or anything.
Nah,
he's just like laying.
I'm already too used to this bullshit.
Yeah, he's been roughing it. Yeah. I imagine you would. You had quite a... Yeah, it's been a day for... It's been a really interesting and eventful last 24 hours for Miss Van Houten.
Yeah.
There's another machine left sitting on the outskirts of the village. It was yours, right? So he apparently also speaks the same dialect as her.
God, just so many questions.
Even she's like, what the fuck? Just as I thought. The missing pilot from the gear that made an emergency landing in Lahan. and the mysterious woman found wandering lost in the forest are actually one and the same person. Judging from your uniform, I would also say you're with the military. Am I correct?
No!
I checked the ID tags of the soldiers who died in the attack on Lahan. The design on their tags and the design on your uniform is the same. So he just went rifling through people's dog tags.
Right.
Do not worry, they were given proper burials. But they may not have been too pleased to die in a foreign land.
Yeah.
Maybe. Does Faye know about you? I don't think he's realized yet. Most likely, Faye knows nothing of the world outside of Lahan. He's a bit of a silly bitch like that.
He's a bit of a silly boy.
Just a really silly bitch.
Just a silly boy.
In any case, it is best if we do not pry into each other's pasts anymore. But let us just say that I know a little more about the world than most do. Anyways, Ellie, I have a favor I must beg you to do. Go straight ahead and you will come to a road. Then just keep going. Would you please leave us while Faye is still asleep? Just get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Just peace out. Cut your losses and run, woman.
Unfortunate things keep happening around Faye.
Yeah?
I would like to protect him if possible. I do not want him caught up in any vain struggles. I am also saying this for your benefit. Ellie, you do not belong here. So she's basically just going, hey, yo, I've got a sixth sense for this. JRPG plot stuff is happening around this boy. You don't want any part of that.
Pretty much.
Just get out of here. Just get out of here. Just go. Just go.
He's kind of been the voice of reason, and something tells me he knows, again, a lot more than he's leading on to be.
Do not worry. I will not tell Faye what your true identity is. I will just tell him you went to meet up with your family. No, it's not that. I did something terrible to him. So, I want to apologize. Something terrible. Faye told me it was our fault your village was destroyed. Faye kept saying, if only they hadn't come. Then I called Faye a coward because he was trying to escape from the responsibility. But in fact, it was me who was trying to escape from taking the blame. If I hadn't crash-landed there, they would all still be living peacefully now. All those innocent people wouldn't have been caught up in that tragedy, but I accused Faye. You are a rarity. I did not expect your people would ever think like that. Your people, huh? More illusion. Surface dwellers are nothing more than domesticated animals, are they not? The shepherds able to control over the surface-dwelling lambs, possessing the right to give life and death unto them as they see fit. Exactly. Yet you seem to feel responsibility towards Faye and the villagers. Why is that? I don't know myself. At Jugend, I was taught that surface dwellers were stupid and base. And that is why we have to control them, but upon meeting Faye, something about him made you feel differently. Yes, he's no different than we are. In fact, he seemed more powerful. He was like 2 levels ahead of me and had twice my HP. Have you even heard of that stuff? I haven't.
The guy just punched a dinosaur. The dinosaur just like toppled over. I don't know why. It just kind of ran up and just went back, and it just hit the ground.
He also risked his life to save me twice. Most of your people would feel ashamed at receiving such an act. So, to sort of further some implications that may be going on here, if you don't recognize the name Jugend, that's actually a reference to an infamous Nazi boys' academy.
Okay.
Yeah. there is a very deliberate application of that name here. It's probably because of my father. He had an open mind to surface dwellers. My nanny was a surface dweller. No one knew about her, though. Besides, I am the same as Faye.
I too am dwell surface.
I've been on the surface for way longer than anyone I know. I may as well count myself as one. I'm at least 1/8 surface dweller.
When I boarded the gunman, I suddenly found a drill in my pocket. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
It is my nature, you know? My wife says I'm too persistent and that I talk too much. I mean, you've had pretty much the most text boxes anytime you've been on scene of any other characters. That's not unfounded.
Yeah.
You really should not be here. I'll return to headquarters, but then what?
If you lose your rank and your pay is docked. Could you imagine?
Worrying is natural. I feel like that line there is like a weird in-joke that didn't make it through translation properly.
But at the same time, it's such a, like, worry is worry. Get over it.
That's fair. It's just like, it'll be fine. Just try to hang in there. Anyways, let me handle what to tell Faye. You'd better go now.
No, it's fine. Just leave in the middle of the dark, middle of the night. Totally safe.
Don't worry about the fact that there might be more monsters out there or anything.
The wood elves will just run up and clock in the back of the head again.
They'll just fucking German suplex you into the dirt.
And take their long arms and just go...
No big deal. Just lock you in them Dalsum combos. Oh, so you were awake.
Yeah, no shit.
I was resting on one hand. I was just trying to turn and then I heard you talking shit. I woke up midway, so I only heard part of what happened. Ellie, so that's what she is? Faye, she's... I know, it's not Ellie's fault. What happened to the village is all my fault. I took all of my pent-up feelings on her. I'm the one who should apologize.
Right. I mean, they're still both fucking...
So they're still, like... Again, they're coming to terms with it, but in a way that's, like, not quite correct, but still, like...
They crossed the bridge, they just haven't quite got off the bridge in the right direction.
Yeah. Like, again, this is a kind of running thing with both those characters.
Yeah.
They're clearly, like, people who are very unsure of what to do with their lives.
They're very maladjusted.
Yeah. Yui is taking care of them. I told her to leave soon and take them all to a certain place.
Certain place, yes, certain place.
They should be safe for a while, so you just worry about yourself for now.
Last time I was told certain place, I was one dog short that day. Still haven't gotten a dog back.
Now to think what we should do next. Shall we leave this forest and head to the desert town of Dazil? We may learn what Av and Kislev are up to, not to mention getting some parts for Veltal. The leader of Av is not going to sit back and let the other knight's fiasco go by unpunished.
Yeah?
So we now have another party member. Ellie is out, Dr. Saitan Uzuki is in, or Shitan. So, if you look at his stats...
We're also one...
So yeah, just take a quick look at his stats, because Shitan is 3 levels behind Faye, but has
4
211 HP and 41 ether points. And his stats are nearly identical to Faye's, despite being a few levels behind. In case you're wondering, no, he is not a temporary party member. He is going to be with us for this entire game.
Am I down a piece of gear that I literally just handed off?
No.
Okay.
Not unless you count the rod you literally just got a few minutes ago for Ellie.
I more meant the fencing gear, but...
Yeah. No, that's back the way you came. You want to go the other way. So yeah, Dr. Uzuki is kind of a powerhouse.
Yeah, no shit.
He may well be debatably the best character in the game.
And here comes the other gears.
Nope. That's just a straight up battleship.
Oh.
What is that?
It's a skyfish.
Looks kind of like an axolotl to me.
Right.
I would assume it's an aerial battleship from Av. I never heard of Av having anything like that. Of course it does not come from Av originally. Most likely it belongs to the Gebler forces stationed in Av. So, another thing, Gebler is actually a slight mistranslation of Gevura, which is a term from the Hebrew Kabbalah.
Okay.
Gebler. Special forces from the Sacred Empire of Solaris, known as Gebra. I'm sure you've heard something about them. They're an organization providing large-scale military aid to the Kingdom of Av. They showed up in Ignis several months ago. Until then, Av was being routed by Kislev. But with Gebler's help, they managed to regain half their losses. They are now expanding their territory and gathering resources buried in the ruins. I've heard the village elders talk about it. Is Ellie a part of that? Quite possibly so. Their group has superior technology and power. It is rumored they are here solely to get the resources in the ruins.
And Sophia's back. Welcome back.
I am surprised they are using something as powerful as that ship.
Culture have power. No one can give power.
It must be to suppress the recent border skirmishes. So you're already seeing some big contrasts here with like the level of technology, because you had Bahan, which is like typical RPG village of the time level of civilization.
Yeah, and then you got like
the gears, which are mobile suits, and then you have the aerial battleships.
There's some discrepancies here that are already raising several questions.
Not to mention the fact that excavating resources from ruins is a big part of the war economy in this setting so far.
Yeah.
Like, that is already just fascinating to me, and one of the things I love about this game is it seems that most of the more advanced technology is salvaged. No one really knows how to make it.
Yeah, it's not quite reverse engineered yet.
Mm-hmm. 500-year-old temples, so we have a bit of a date for how far back some of these ruins go.
Several questions. Again, I'm seeing a lot of Trails series likeness happening here and some of the plot beats so far. It's just they're more aware that this stuff exists. Like, this feels like a postscript, like a bit of a postscript to the Trails series. Like, oh, there's giant robots. We don't know what to do with this, but we're suddenly... Here are these things. Whereas Trails, this is like, we discovered this, use it now.
Yeah, like, this has been a thing they've been doing for some indeterminate point in time, and it's just become a normal part of life at this point.
Something tells me the next actual...
Yeah, so just keep going. This is where our next transition is.
Hopefully a point to save. Because that a lot just went on.
Yeah. And back to the world map.
I do believe at this point I should be able to save, since it is a world map.
Yes, you should. So 3 hours we've been playing.
Yeah, I think this is a good note to stop on.
Yeah, not to mention this is actually a very good point to grind, because we will be facing human enemies from this point on, which means we can actually farm money now.
Ooh.
So now would be a good place to stop if you want.
Yeah, no, that was a lot loaded at once, and I kind of have to process that.
Yeah, this game is really good about giving you just enough information to go. Like, you're seeing some of where Xenoblade gets its story beats from.
Yeah, no, a number of RPGs. This game just feels really influential to a lot of stuff that have come out within recent years.
Yeah.
Because it's like, as I mentioned before, the Trails series very much now feels like people wanted something like this, but they weren't able to get it from the creators, so Falcom stepped in and was like, we really love this game. Let's go knock one of these out. But yeah, that concludes the stream for the night. Like,
All
good
right.
lord, that's a lot of things going on at once. And thank you everyone for coming.
Yeah, and definitely look forward to more of these because already he is already seeing why I am so evangelical about this
Yeah,
game.
no, this is like,
There's
I'll say it again, I'll retcon my childhood.
There is a lot going on that makes this game what it is to me and a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I'm going to be able to show you this because, again, you've played Xenoblade, you know that we are not even scratching the surface of what's going to be going on.
Oh, it's because the microphone's like way... It's not perfectly centered here.
Yeah.
And I'm also looking away, looking at the console there. But yeah, I thank you for pointing that out, Zofia. I'm going to be a little more... oh, other person soft.
What, me?
Yeah, looks like it. We'll figure this out as we go.
Yeah,
this is
we're basically sharing a stand microphone.
Wait,
What?
other soft?
What? What?
Like, oh, okay. Anyways, I'm. Thanks for coming to the stream, and I'm sure as hell gonna keep this on. Hope this goes onto the archive, and maybe in a week or two I'll start pumping these over the YouTube as well. So thank you all for coming.